Hello. Welcome to the pub. It's Friday night. I know it's a little different, but if you're here, thank you for being here. Yeah, right on. Just cracking a bottle of rum. Put the cap back on and show you guys what I'm having. Let me know if everything's good. It seems like it's good on my end. Let's check over here. Yep. Thanks, Sammy Cat, and welcome. And we have the Bacardi Grand Reserve, 8-year, barreled in 2009. Wow, look at that, huh? 13 years. That's good shit, man. Obviously, nobody's buying this at the liquor store. It's been sitting on the shelf for 5 years, goddammit. 13-year-old rum. Very nice. Ooh. Smells like pears, toasted sugar, and a little bit of alcohol, but it's really smooth. It's not very boozy at all. Good shit. It's a great rum. I highly recommend it. What do we got here? All right, Sammy Cat, like I said. Hey, Aphid, thanks, man. Smash that like button for sure. Last Dance, what's up? I saw you guys. Where's all the... Everyone's got wrenches, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can try this drink. Yeah, come on down. Because down here, we got a real Halloween situation going on. In fact, years and years ago, I think I made a Halloween video of my neighborhood and put it on Live Leak. And I got slammed for it because they said it belonged on YouTube. It was very dark at night. I thought it was cool, but that wasn't what we were into back then, unless people were getting killed. It wasn't really kosher for Live Leak. Yeah, Random Goon, great show. Hi, wife. Hello. Random Goon, a solid show. He played a Jimi Hendrix tune for me. Always loved me some Hendrix. McGrandy, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Gotta get the headphones off. Not talking to anybody. A bunch of crazy things are happening in the news these days. And we can get to it all tonight. I don't know if I'm going to single anything out in particular right now, but we certainly can. Yeah, it's the Halloween show. This is Live Leak's birthday from, Lord, I don't know how many, 2006, 2005. Unbelievable. Yeah. Anyways, our original Lord of the Manor, Hayden Hewitt, did get his account suspended indefinitely on Twitter. And I just read some articles that they're letting a lot of the people back in, not only Trump, but a lot of the lower level offenders who didn't really do anything wrong besides give their opinion, because their opinion didn't align with popular opinion or the politically correct opinion. I'm not talking about anything really too bad here, just asking some questions, and the guy got banned. Hopefully we see Hayden back. He's a lot of fun to follow on Twitter. And he got the check mark. Biscuit in the house. Can't wait to hear that new microphone. Thing's probably going to sound bomb, dude. A little reverb, a little flanger, maybe. A little envelope filter. You can get that thing sounding funky. Exactly, Last Dance. That's the thing. He might be on to bigger and better things. In fact, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you can keep him away, man. He just might be too tenacious that if he gets it back and it's floating right there, that it'll be calling him, dude. If he knows it's there, he's so good. He really should. When he speaks, I think he commands an audience. He's got a great delivery, whatnot. You guys all know. We've all watched him together. Yeah, right. But I think that if is a likely yes, if that makes sense. Yeah, we're starting a little late tonight, so we don't have to go we can mix this up every week if people want to jump on. I know it's late for you, Biscuit, so we don't have to I might do a tune. You guys can hang out. I can just bullshit for a while. It's all good. Or we can fire it up however you want to do it. Yeah, me too. I want to know. I like to know what he's up to. I like movie news and stuff. Whoa, what does whoa mean? Did I say something? Maybe we'll break out with the guitar right away. Well, like I said, it's 7:30, over 7. All right, we're going to do the whole point the camera at the guitar thing, right? All right, so I screwed this up before. The microphone, right. Okay. Yeah, see, I want to get this shit right. The microphone should be here, pointed directly at the sound hole. Sound hole. Uh-oh, dead air. Let's check that. Yeah, I'm on the hard wire, bro. I'll shut the YouTube tab just so it's not eating up too much. And just rely on the mods. Holy shit, it's Duke. What's up, Duke? It's Duke. Duke. I don't know what song that was. It was just random. The Ballad of Duke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, we'll put that away, I guess. Seemed like a kind of a wild jam. Yeah, anyways, welcome. We're all here. So, It's good now. Duke in the house. Ballad of Duke Brasi. There you go. All right, we got some people ready to go on camera. I see one. Let's fire this bad Larry up. I thought you might have changed it to microphone master. But all right, and we can go with Biscuit.
Hello. It's Biscuit with a good microphone.
There he is. What's up, dude? How are you?
I'm doing good.
Nice.
Got a whole new setup. It's all different. I got a new monitor, new microphone.
You have
keyboard,
one of those little dusty
new headset.
things. What's that called in front of it?
Pop filter.
Pop filter. That's awesome, dude. It looks good.
47 quid it was.
On what, Amazon?
Yeah.
Shit,
There's no messing about because it's just a USB mic.
It looks pretty good. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, brilliant.
Do you have it just going straight to the computer or on a mixer?
Just straight into the back of the computer.
And what kind of are you mixing it at all, or is it
Nope.
just as is?
Just
Right.
as is. It's got a little gain control on the front, so I can like up and down the gain.
Oh, that sounds very good. Yeah. Right on.
But it's brill.
There we go.
Hey,
Hey, Last Dance.
What's up,
good
dude?
evening, guys. How's it going?
Good. Yourself?
Great.
Pretty good.
Very nice. Very nice.
Happy future Halloween. I guess. I think. When do people celebrate it? Sunday or Monday, right?
Monday,
Monday. Okay.
the last day of the month.
31st.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hey, there you go. Cheers, man.
Good to be alive.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, good solid week for you down there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't do anything any weeks, so I'm alive at the end of it. I'll call it solid.
You still putting some miles under those boots?
I've been slacking off major lately.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, gotta get a new. I gotta get some new planning because my afternoons are a little fuller than they've been, unfortunately. But
Okay.
and plus, it gets dark out, so I'm gonna have to start going in the mornings.
Right, you can't be laying in bed just
No.
drinking coffee and watching, Bloomberg TV all morning.
I don't watch. Yeah,
Fox.
no, I never watch Fox. God, I can't stand it. A couple weeks ago, I put on some Fox show because I'd never heard of the guy. Oh my God, it was just idiotic conspiracy theory and
That's
what's Biden up to? What are they planning?
Last time I watched Fox, it was Tucker Carlson, and I turned it off after 5 minutes because I couldn't stand the cunt.
Yeah, he's probably the best of the bunch. So,
Really?
oh yeah, for sure.
I thought he was the worst.
No, he's
Didn't
Yeah.
he cut his teeth as an actual reporter?
I don't remember where he came from. A lot of those
Okay.
guys were actual reporters.
Some were, some weren't.
Yeah, but it's just so sad to watch one of these shows. I mean, I didn't watch the whole show because it was obvious what you just from 5 minutes of it, you knew how the thing was going to go the whole way.
Total agenda.
Total agenda, and it's not just that. It's kind of why did Biden say this, and what about this other guy? What about that, huh? Like implying that there's some deep forces at work plotting this all out, and it's just all it needs is one person on the show at the same time saying, that's probably not it at all. Maybe it's just the normal ebb and flow of things.
Smokesteve's wife agrees with me that Tucker Carlson needs a bitch slap.
Oh man, everybody, all these people need to be slapped, whether it's Fox or CNN or MSNBC. They're just disasters, really.
Biscuit, would you say the same thing about Don Lemon?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay,
It's the same thing. It's just from the other side of the aisle.
Is he a lefty? Is he? But
he's
far left.
Yep.
far left, yeah.
And mind you, these guys are smart guys. They could do a great job, but the network doesn't want them to do it, and they don't want to do it. So they.
Am I right in thinking CNN's left?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, look at Welshie. What's up, homeboy? Anyone got an answer for him?
There's sort of a news channel. It's called Agenda Free TV, but it's not really a. It's one guy, Steve Lochner, who whenever there's a major event, he pops up on YouTube doing a live broadcast of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we'll see. Time.
Everyone has a political leaning, which leaks into all news channels.
You know, it turned. Sorry, go on, Steve.
I was just going to say, I know Anderson Cooper is obviously featured heavily on CNN. Frankly, I find him to be okay. I know he's
pretty far left.
He's pretty far left. I don't find him to be like a Don Lemon, like bombastically over the top about his deliveries. Like when he's delivering straight news, I think he's pretty good. You know, when he's delivering political biased shit, he turns into one of them, sort of. But I do think he's. What is that grinding sound?
I think it's Last Dance moving in his chair. And it's creaking.
I'm scratching my knee through my jeans.
He's got his water and pestle. He's making breakfast. Berries, oats. Right.
Just got in from the fields with wheat.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
I do find myself watching Sky News and CNN more than anything.
British CNN is obviously it's a completely different network.
No, I watch it on YouTube. It's American CNN.
No kidding, no. Do they have a British CNN?
No.
Or European? No.
Not that I know of. They might have like CNN Euro or something like that.
And you know, people used to think here, and a lot of people still do, that the BBC was a very unbiased and honest news.
They're the most biased, but only when it comes to paedophiles.
See, NPR over here does BBC from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Have you ever caught that Last Dance?
No, I haven't.
So
you mean, yeah.
National Public Radio. It's just a straight hour of BBC news. I don't find it to be overly biased, but maybe I'm not that familiar with the intricacies over there.
I mean, they have their biases, but they don't do everything according to a certain playbook. Just a few things.
Right. Like their hard news broadcast on the radio might be vastly different from their TV primetime show when they're talking about, you know, whatever, you know, because what I hear, it's clearly, you know, what they feed to the American audience on the radio, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, and then I hear from every British person that we ever have on, and they say that they're the most horrendous.
Right, they do.
You know, so obviously I go with what you guys say.
Well, it galls some people to see that, you know, the government is funding this news broadcaster that produces what in their minds is partisan or biased news.
Of course, and then you're forced to pay for it, right, Biscuit?
What's that? Oh, in the BBC, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not forced to pay it, but they're like Nazis. They come around and check.
That's your license fee, right?
Yeah. They come and check to see if you're watching live programs and whatnot. And you have to declare every 2 years. Like, that's what I do. I declare every 2 years that I don't need one.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of an arcane thing. Fucking, you can get your news anywhere now.
Yeah.
It's free, man.
But you probably get it over a wire from a provider.
Well, I use YouTube, Sky News website.
Yeah.
I don't watch live TV at all.
Yeah.
There are some people that don't pay the TV license, but they still watch live TV, and they're the ones that are going to get shafted when they're found out.
I don't watch any TV.
I made a point of cutting the aerial off, the wire that comes into my house, and if they come in, I just point to the aerial and say, "Look, I've cut it off." And you can look on my computer, you can look on my TV. I don't use BBC iPlayer, so you can bog off.
Right. And now on the computer, just have like your screensaver, when they open it, a giant dong or something.
I've actually got Deadpool shagging a unicorn on my desktop.
There you go. Right. Perfect. I love it.
Do they need a warrant to go in your house? I don't know how that works.
Not really. No. If they've got probable cause, they can just knock on your door and ask to be let in. But if you don't open the door, they can't do anything.
Okay.
And of course, there's so many polite British people who probably come right in. Sure, of course.
I mean, my friend, he did it a couple of years ago, and let them walk in because he thought he was not watching live TV, but because his TV had been previously tuned for the channels, and he had BBC iPlayer on his TV, they said you can. They said to him that because he can access those channels and he's got all the stuff set up for accessing channels, they did him for it, and I think $1,500 they charged him.
Jesus. For information. They're charging him for knowledge.
Yeah. But the knowledge is out there free of charge.
Yeah, totally.
Well, not free of charge. You've got to pay for your internet service, but
no,
that's a choice that they don't force upon you.
Where does the license fee go to?
It goes back into the BBC, so
all to the BBC, or just into?
It goes all to the BBC, so they
really
can reproduce programs and fund the news, stuff like that.
Ridiculous, man.
It's pretty archaic, I would think. There might have been a time when.
It's because the reason why they have it that way is so that you can have a live channel that doesn't have advertising on it.
Yeah, but I mean, you could just fund it from government. Government tax funds without having to. That's
even worse, because then you are paying for it without a say.
Well, they're going to get if
they should fund it like all of the channels do and have advertising on the station
or advertising. I mean, I'm saying if you want it to be, or funded by taxes, you could, which was what a license fee essentially is. Have
access closed off to people who are only paying subscribers, like every other channel does on the web.
No, that's true. What they want is to do what they, to have their own agenda and to get somebody else to pay them for it, basically. So that's a lucky position to be in. I'm sure
another thing it pays for is also the infrastructure as well, for the aerials, keeping the upkeep of those as well.
Good one, cup of tea.
Duke was gonna join, but he said because it was 7:30, he's like put off by it. Oh fuck! Sorry, Duke. Damn.
All that hate for 7:30.
He's +1 on biscuits.
So okay, yeah.
It's
clocks go back an hour this weekend.
Right.
So it'll be 11 o'clock. You come on normally from next week in the UK.
You'll have to start at 8:30 next week, Steve.
Yeah, so next week's going to be one of those strange weeks that we haven't. Wait a second. November 6th is what day? Saturday.
Yeah, is that right?
Are you looking at your calendar? Because I'm too
lazy. I am, and it is November 6th is Sunday. November 5th is Saturday.
Okay, so we'll be in that weird time where we're off from you guys. So that'll just be for 1 week.
All right. Do your clocks go back the week after?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. So this happens quite frequently. So I
So
just
I'll get 1 week of of an early start.
yeah, and I just have to remember when I tweet about it that what the time is. So
Yeah.
it'll be 11 o'clock if I started at 6 for that
Yeah.
1 week. Right? No.
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
No, 11.
If you
It
isn't
only
the
goes
11
about
in-
1 hour.
because it's when does your time change over?
I think Saturday night. I think.
Okay.
Well, Sunday morning at 2
Yeah,
2
so-
a.m.
Right. So it'll actually be if I do 6, it'll be 11 there for you because 6 is normally 12, right?
Yeah.
It'll be
Always.
11, and then an hour later it'll be 11 again.
No, 7 is usually it's 5 hours. So we're not getting this right here, fellas.
Well,
6 on
right
my
now
end.
you normally have it at 7, right?
No, normally it's at 7. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, right. That's
So
what
then
is.
it would be 11 next
11.
week.
All right. I
Unless
got
you
it.
do it at 6, then it'll be 10.
Which I don't do anymore. It's always
No.
been because family and stuff, a little more time. Kind of awkward sometimes. I'm just running out of there at 10 minutes to 6. I'm like, well, see you later. Gotta go spend the night drinking. It's like it goes over a little better. It's like closer to 7.
Got to go over my other job,
Right.
the pub. Wait a minute, you don't get paid at all for the pub.
Exactly. No, sir.
This will be the start of your entertainment empire, Steve.
Yeah,
We were there at the beginning.
it's gonna be a low climb, like a ziggurat. Very small structure. All right, interesting. All right. We're gonna go ahead and see if anyone else wants to join in. We got old friend Mr. Based Welshman.
Hey, Steve, you're not smoking tonight?
Oh, I'm smoking.
Okay, I thought I didn't. There we go.
I've
I
been
must have missed it.
I've been slowing down a little,
Okay.
and then I'll pick back up again.
Hey, Based.
You
What's
looking
up, dude?
good, Biscuit, mate? You looking healthy?
Thank you very much. I've lost 127 pounds so far.
Outstanding. Excellent. That's really great to hear.
You look a completely different picture.
Thank you.
Magnifique. Very nice.
Yeah, I didn't actually know you lost weight, but I could tell it just in your face and just the way you look.
Oh, I feel $1,000,000 now.
I'm
Nice,
pleased. I'm really pleased with you, man. I was obviously it's a long journey ahead still, though, isn't it? You've got to,
Yeah, I got another 100 pounds to lose yet. I'm
You're-
27.5 stone at the moment.
Okay. And what are you aiming for?
About 15, 16 stone.
Well, I'm that, mate. You know, I'm 36 waist and I'm 16 stone. You know,
How tall are you though? Are you 6 foot?
6'1", but
6'1", yeah.
I'm 2 inches too wide, and which is a stone and a half too heavy.
Well, I'm in a 56-inch waist at the minute. I'd like to get down to a 40 if I can.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best chance you've ever had, really.
Yeah, 100%. It's
So-
coming down really fast. 6 months it's took.
Well, I'm chuffed for you, mate. It's hopefully a change of direction where you get out a bit more often. And,
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I still got a little anxiety for going out, like
yeah.
on buses and things, so I just use taxis. But I'm going out more often
Yeah, okay.
because I ain't got to cart my big camping chair because I can actually stand up a little longer now.
Do you remember when Tyson Fury turned to like alcohol and cocaine, and he was world champion. He was like a fat pig,
Yeah.
but a 6'9" fat pig, and
he could still wreck shit, I'm sure.
well, not for long, because he fully admitted it. You know how honest he is. He was jogging down the road, and he said, "I couldn't jog. Was it 200 yards? I can get the clip up." I thought I was out of breath. And he said, "Oh, fuck this. This is it. I'm going to go for it now. And this is my start of training." And he released that video. Obviously, he released that video for encouragement for himself in the end. obviously worked because 18 months later he had beat the fuck out of DLT Wilder.
I guess being teetotal with alcohol's helped me as well. I've not had a single drop of alcohol in 6.5 months.
But don't forget, like these small steps, like Tyson
Yeah.
Fury made. He couldn't do fuck all at one point. So good for you.
I mean, the only thing I do now is just focus on my protein intake, and that's it.
Do you take any vitamins?
Yeah, I have to. I take Centrum, the fruity chewables.
Well, because I take quite a lot of supplements now.
I only have 900 calories a day, so
Wow.
I need to have the vitamins, otherwise, I'll be a bit deficient.
Oh, sure.
All right, real quick, we're going to go ahead and bring in a famous artist, actually. Really fabulous that we're going to be graced with his presence. And he's going to show us how to paint happy little trees. Aphid Ross.
How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great, Aphid. How's it going?
All right. Where's your squirrel?
I'm wondering if these two even know who Bob Ross is. Maybe that don't translate very well.
I know who Bob Ross is.
Oh, all right.
Awesome.
I don't.
I tried painting a few of his mountainous landscapes before it failed.
Yeah.
I tried following along. I don't know if you ever heard of the YouTuber Jazza.
Negative.
Nope.
Well, he did some like Bob Ross paintings, like following along with Bob Ross, and I tried the same, and it didn't turn out very good. I'm not very good with oil paint and scrapers.
He would make a birch tree, and he would use what you're saying, a scraper, and he'd be like, he'd go, and this whole beautiful white bark trunk with it looked like the bark was falling off. He'd do it in like 1 second. He'd be like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, my canvas was torn into a shred when I tried.
Remember, he'd mix the colors too when he'd put them together.
I guess that's possibly why my mine didn't turn out too good. Is I only had like 4 to 6 oil paint colors.
Great stuff, man.
He had that water bucket that was at the bottom of his easel, and it was filled with water, and he would get his brush clean in there, and then he'd just whap it on the side of that metal water container.
What was that white called that he used to whitewash?
Titanium.
Not titanium. It's Prusia white or something, was it?
I don't know. I feel like titanium white.
It might have been titanium white. He waters it or oils it down so it's really thin, and then he washes the whole canvas before he starts.
My buddy went to an art school. He's an art major. He got his degree and master's in art. And he said that dude is like frowned upon in the art community by like
because he'd like rush out a painting in like 15 minutes and
12 minutes commercial, then another 12, and then the credits. So
well, I think he was on PBS, so I don't think there was commercials. He'd just do his thing for like real softly for about 15, 20 minutes. And
but there's technique, which is mainly technical, and then there's art / inspiration, which comes from the mind.
He's just refined the landscape.
He's showing you technique and how to.
I wish he'd slow down a little bit though and show you the technique slowly.
Yeah.
You have to keep stopping and starting to get what he's talking about.
Right. Yeah.
He was so soothing.
Oh yeah.
And he did do an episode, I think, with the squirrel sitting on his shoulder or on his arm.
Well, I know. I think there's like a Halloween costume where you can get it with the squirrel. But it was always just a blue shirt that he wore.
Oh, all right. Nailed it. Where'd you get the wig?
He's got
probably at a Halloween store. I got
a whole closet of. He's like like a CIA agent. He's got more disguises in it.
I do.
Are you guys?
Man, we took Halloween. No, we haven't for a while, but we used to. My buddy would always have a Halloween, and he up until recently it was the guy with the skateboard ramp, and he'd have it on, the weekend. We'd all go out there and skate and get dressed up, but his backyard's all tore up, so it's been a couple years. Well, in COVID, we didn't did for their. But yeah, man, we do it up on Halloween. You got to, man. You can't just like walk in there with like something you got out of a piece of plastic container 10 minutes before you left the house. You gotta go for it.
Real long time ago, me and the wife dressed up together as this was during the time when the Apprentice was huge. I dressed up as Donald Trump, and she dressed as Martha Stewart.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, funny. Like, I think Martha had gone to jail, but she got like the Martha outfit. It was freaking hilarious. I had the big Donald Trump hair. And
You
then
still got the wig?
I wish I could find it, man. I would wear it in a second. I would shave. I mean, I'm kind of a big dude. When I shave, if I put the Trump wig on, you know,
You Trump.
have some rum, get a little blotchy, then it really works. You know,
put a little carrot juice on your face.
Oh, right, orange tan. You know, yeah.
Did you have did you have an impression that you did when you wore him?
Yeah, you're fired. You're fired. You're
You
fired.
just walk in there, you're fired. Get it?
Yeah,
I'm
I
Trump.
had a red
You're
tie.
fired.
I had a stupid blue suit with the red tie. It was like just from The Apprentice alone, you know. You're fired. That was it.
Speaking of Donald Trump, he's coming back to Twitter, I bet.
Oh, you would think so. Surely.
Yeah, he'll be
Now,
back.
I mean, so didn't he said he would let him come back, didn't he?
But does Donald Trump want to come back
Or
now?
said
He's
he
got his own.
He shouldn't have been banned, I think is how he.
Will he come
Musk's-
back though? Even now he's got his own platform.
He'll do what's good for him.
That's one thing we know for damn
That's
goddamn sure.
Musk said he's forming a new moderation council, and they will not make any decisions about reinstating accounts until that council gets going.
That's annoying.
Yeah,
But I understand he wants to protect his 44 bill.
yeah. But I think once they get going, they will reinstate most of the more egregious cases that we are aware of.
Donald Trump, Hayden Hewitt.
His might be a tough call because he didn't violate those little dinky things like failing to use someone's pronouns or some crap like that. His was a more significant reason. So
Hayden?
No, Donald Trump.
Trump.
I was all excited. I was like, why did he get? Because I never even heard. Do you guys know why he got kicked?
No,
I don't know, but
stuff. Stupid
he
stuff.
he was
battling.
he was harsh with the trans
He was battling.
activists.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was up to his elbows in that stuff.
yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Earlier, I said something about that, and I think I said I'll spell it in case it gets flagged or something. TRANNY''S. And I said if it wasn't for, if they're still on Twitter, then Hayden will still be back on Twitter. When you guys were talking about it earlier, and it wouldn't post it, so I guess you can't spell that out in the YouTube chat for some reason.
Spell what?
TRANNY''S.
Or
If you type that out, it gets deleted.
Just say it.
Well, you have to get creative and put spaces and little dots.
Well, it ain't my
and shit.
show. I don't want to say something. I mean, obviously, if they care about it being in the text, they don't want you saying it either.
Well,
just say it. He's right. You wait. How bad is it?
It got Hayden kicked
You know that place called Transylvania?
I guess you can't say that anymore. That's
Non-
ridiculous. You can't.
Who
say
are
that
the
word?
people? What are the people called
What
that
is it?
come from Transylvania?
Rumors? What's wrong? What can't you say? What word can't you say?
Vampire? Nosferatu? Vampire?
Tran
I spelt it
something.
out.
Right.
The shorter version of that.
Yeah, I get it.
Cross dressers.
Never mind. I spelled it out. For
It
Christ's
rhymes
sake.
with grannies.
There you go.
Trannies.
hmm
Sorry,
I typed it out in the chat and it deleted it. So I guess you can't type that out.
You should have, in fact, kicked yourself out as a moderator.
I should have.
Well, I'll give you an example on an account that should come back, which is from the UK, which is Tommy Robinson's. Because
Oh boy.
I disagree with that based.
Okay, so what did he get banned for?
Inciting violence?
Can you bring the tweet up for me?
No, because it's been deleted.
Yeah, it would be archived. People
Unless it's
archive it.
possessive,
I
Carol.
don't think it was in a tweet. It was the physical incitation.
So what is it, Biscuit? Because you're just going on the narrative now. You're going
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
going.
BBC.
I am going on the narrative. I'm going on what
Yeah,
the
okay.
news said.
No, I think that guy was vilified, man.
And the funny thing is, 15 years down the road, right? Everyone now in the UK is talking about it, and everyone in the UK is now wanting answers. What's going on with the groomers? But when Tommy was doing it, he was a far right racist. I tell you what, Biscuit, I know exactly how he got banned. He got banned for no violations at all. They couldn't even put a violation up. When asked directly for a violation, they said they couldn't pick one out. So you know,
I don't think he did any violation on Twitter itself.
no, he didn't. There was no violation on Twitter.
It was just
And they couldn't
it was politically motivated.
Yeah, well, that's the reality. Whether you
yeah.
like someone or not, Biscuit,
It's
it's
true.
it's not up to.
You're all right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I mean, it was a trap. Basically, you know, Twitter had that much power, didn't they? You know, up until this moment, they can do what they want to fucking do.
Well, it still can, but now they've got Elon Musk in charge.
Yeah, and he's going to say no lifetime bans, which I've got to say I agree with. I mean,
no, I don't agree with that. There's some people that will obviously warrant a lifetime ban.
Well, like who? ISIS?
I mean, you could.
Yeah, that's a good start.
No, you don't need a lifetime ban. You could just say, "What's the longest ban? 6 months, and we'll review again after 6 months."
Well, that's it. It could even be a year. It could even be
It
2
could be
years.
That doesn't take too much labor. You know, it's not like that's going to break them financially.
And to be honest, they can go in a naughty step, right? And they can be on like a proper warning thing, but their account's still active, and they can still conduct, you know, whether it's social media, you know, citizen journalism, or they can conduct, you know, whatever they do.
Yeah, there's a lot of levels, but besides a total ban that can be, you know, that are, you know, not as bad as a total ban, but might still reflect some sort of sanction.
Like maybe have the algorithm push all their tweets to the bottom so nobody ever sees them.
Yeah, or give them, you know, like a maximum number of tweets per day.
Well, I would have a serious worry that a group like that would be using it for communication purposes, reading things that might seem inane but could be code to all kinds of people out there in the world, fighters, you know, shadow figures.
Well,
yeah,
Biscuit,
you can't stop that though. It doesn't matter whether it's.
But Biscuit, you just give an example then of shadow banning. That's a classic shadow banning statement you made.
What pushing?
Not saying they don't go in the algorithm and people don't see their tweets. You may as well ban someone, right? You may as well fucking ban them, because the only people who see their tweets are the people that follow them, and half of them won't even see them. It's really sneaky. It's really horrid.
Yeah, but that's how 90% of the world works. There's only a few thousand people that get featured tweets jumping around out there. Nobody sees my shit. You know.
Yeah, but it's
I only got any featuring when I posted on somebody who's more famous than me.
Yeah,
I just want to say I don't care if they. Who cares if they ban anybody for whatever reason they want to? I mean.
Well, this is the problem with the left. This is the problem with the left. You seem to be really authoritarian and just like up for it.
I'm not left. I'm just saying I've ran websites before, and if I don't want somebody there, you know, I don't want to have some restrictions on whether I let them be there or not.
No, so if it blows up into Twitter
if it blows up into something crazy, like if I ever ran a website, right, and people were like a forum, well, like the Discord, and then it get to a point where there's just people are interested in it and everybody wants to be a part of it. I still want to have that ability. If I don't want somebody around, then I'm gonna get them rid of them.
Yeah, but
the consequences are you can't stop.
Yeah, but you
the consequences are either people leave, don't stay around, or you don't sell advertising, and that's the consequence. It's not the consequence shouldn't be like, oh well, we tell them they need to allow somebody, so they have to allow it. That's bullshit. I don't agree with that at all.
That's not the equation here. No one's talking about Twitter will not be allowed to ban anybody. Twitter can ban anybody they want at any time. That hasn't changed. It's just having rules that are nonpartisan about who is banned and being clear about what these bans are for. No website is going to commit financial suicide.
I mean, YouTube,
just to appease free speech.
YouTube
activists.
needs a bit in that department. They keep. Go on.
I hear what you're saying, but I mean, it's still their decision. It's their place,
But nobody's saying it's not their decision. That's what you're kind of arguing.
I mean,
I'm
saying
straw
that
man here.
But surely,
okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
But the way they've set out what they're going to do now, like they said, they've got a wide range of people from different political views, and that we'll have a committee out, and we're going to do it a different way now. Surely that sounds better than what they've done in the last 10 years. Because what they've done in the last 10 years, they've been very politicized, where they'll take out certain people that get traction on Twitter, and they'll just clean them out. They'll shadow ban them, so they lose like 80% of their engagement. And then they'll turn around one day and say, well, fuck you. And we won't even tell you why. We'll just say it was hate. Well, what tweet was the hate? Well,
there's no doubt that Twitter and YouTube and others, Facebook, are biased against what we would call in the U.S. conservative speech, and even the rules they make up, they ignore them except when conservatives come into contact with them. So, and people say, but they're a private company, and I say, well, that's true. They can do it. No one's saying they don't have the right to do it. I'm just saying it's wrong. And, and so please don't do it.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Last dance, that's what the leftists said for years. It's a private company, they can do what they want to do. Now they're like, yeah.
I just think anybody should be able to do what they want to do.
At the end of the day, there should be free speech, but you can't let people have free speech and not get consequences for their actions if,
Well, then
that's speech isn't actions.
Yeah, I mean,
it isn't. It is an action if you're doing something that would cause somebody harm.
Offense.
No. I'm not talking about offense. I'm talking about physical harm.
Yeah, that's such a slippery slope. I mean, the trans activists on Twitter constantly claim that things that people like Hayden say, keep trans women out of ladies' restrooms.
Wow.
They are killing trans people. They call that literal violence.
That's hurting the feelings. That's not physical violence and physical harm.
So
is it?
Can someone correct me or whatever when I say, well, free speech is anything apart from projecting violence in America? Not
in the United States, only a very small class of speech that is not protected. Not even calls to violence are protected. It's just calls to imminent violence that are not protected.
Sorry?
You could say, for example, in the United States, we should all get together and overthrow the government. It's perfectly legal. If you say, gather tomorrow at noon, we're going to overthrow the government, that's not protected.
And now we are being watched.
We're talking.
Sorry, Steve.
For anyone
I kind of felt the power go down.
This is hypothetical, guys.
Talking about the First Amendment, not the Communist Manifesto. Come on, guys.
I know, of course.
Have you lads kept up with the old Kung Flu recently?
Apart from the on a wave of getting people vaccinated, fuck them.
I try and keep up.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen the Pfizer executive admit that they didn't test for transmission?
My sister.
I have heard that, and
my sister lost her voice for a week after her last vaccine.
Yeah, it's quite commonplace. It's quite
To be
common.
honest, I hear that claim, and I don't really understand it. Because if you get the disease, whether you're vaccinated or not, once you get it, you can transmit it. I don't think any vaccine can
Yeah,
prevent
I
that.
heard
But
that natural immunity is actually weakened when you have the vaccine now.
That's correct. I've been saying this for 2 years, lads.
Well, that's certainly possible because you only have
2 years
your body
ago.
only has
I don't
so
think
much.
2 years ago that was the case, but it is now.
But basically, what they were saying because the spike protein excites your immune system and it overworks your immune system. So over a period of time of getting a number of injections. Now remember, like Biden's on 8 now, isn't he? He's on 5 boosters and 3 shots. So
I've only
that
had
was
the
claim.
initial 2.
Yeah,
that was
there's
the
another
claim.
thing going on too there. If you take the boosters too close together, or after having COVID, and a lot of people don't know about all this stuff, you can really fuck things up with your immune system and your response. And then you're essentially going to make the vaccine much less effective if you don't do it properly.
The sad thing is, it doesn't seem to be that effective. You know,
Yeah.
for everyone else. I mean,
You know, when the ship really seemed serious and people were like thinking they were gonna die, like the Delta or whatever, there could be a case to be made if it had more benefits than harm. But I think as time goes on and this virus seems to become fairly commonplace, you're just going to have to live with it. You can't have like 15 or 20 shots over how many years? Is that the plan?
Yeah, that's what
well, I get a flu shot every year.
Yeah, I do as well because of my asthma.
So would you guys consider doing a bi-yearly COVID shot?
Not
I
bi-yearly.
would consider it, but
I'd consider yearly, but not bi-yearly.
Yeah, I think I'm done with it for now, man. I haven't had one in a couple of years, and I'm like,
good for you.
Flu shots?
No, flu shots. It's been 15 years.
Really? You have a flu shot? You like that flu?
It's just got a natural antibodies, isn't it? In the UK, the average age of death was 82 for Kung flu, and it's been consistently 81 and 82 all the way through. And the average
isn't that the average death anyway?
Yeah, the average death in the UK is 81. So when you put it in perspective, yes, there will be, like, there was a guy in Newport, and like, no disrespect to you, Biscuit, he was a big chubster. He was obese, to say the least, and they said, otherwise fit man dies of Kung flu. There's a photo of him, and he's fucking huge. You're like, Kung flu was targeting fat people because you had more fat cells. That meant you're going to get more of a hit, as it turns out. So, fucking hell. But yeah.
Well, you have to remember that the disease has changed as time goes on. And one of the changes.
It's become less deadly.
It's become less deadly, but it also has a much.
I think the word is virulent, less virulent.
Yeah, it also has a much shorter incubation period now.
Yeah.
And so that even a vaccine that's effective may not be effective because it just doesn't have a chance to work before the virus multiplies, too fast. So
yeah, but if you've had the injection 3 weeks previous, then you're supposed to be protected, yeah. So you
not for BA5. You can have it, 3 weeks.
This jab is tested on BA5. This jab is tested. It wasn't tested on humans, of course. It was tested on mice.
What it does is it might make the symptoms. I mean, if you're a young man, I don't think you want this vaccine unless you're in a especially risky category. But if you're someone my age or older, you should consider it because you definitely still have a lower rate of death and serious disease. But it's not going to keep you from getting infected.
Have you read about the excess deaths that are going on? Yeah,
that is. Nobody knows for sure what it is. There's people think it might be the vaccine, but it is a mystery that. I sometimes think that nobody.
It's a correlation.
Is trying to figure it out because they don't want the bad news that it's the vaccine.
It could be a number of things. Obviously, NHS being closed down, like it was, then that's not going to help. And that obviously went on in America.
What
as
about
well.
all the
Base,
what
we
about all the care workers that have been laid off because they didn't want the vaccine and
We
they
sh-
can't and nobody to
Well,
look after the elderly?
they pulled back, didn't they? Like I thought they would.
Yeah.
The government pulled back at the last moment, so they're all back in work now.
we should explain what excess deaths means in this context.
So yeah,
more people that died over the
there's-
normal amount.
There's a normal
year on year.
amount,
5-year
and then
average.
then if you take the number of COVID deaths, subtract those out,
Yeah.
and then look at what remains, and there's still an unusually large number of excess deaths that are not.
Yeah.
They're not accountable by any simple explanation.
They're not accountable by COVID itself.
They're not caused by COVID. Those are
Drinking.
subtract.
No.
Then that's one
Yeah,
of many explanations. Well, the other one is that somehow vaccines are causing deaths.
Well,
other
Where's
people's-
it? Is it worldly or are you
Yes.
localized?
Everywhere.
or-
everywhere, all the Western world,
All the Western
jabs.
countries. Yep.
What about the
Well-
Eastern countries?
No,
Nobody
Africa-
trusts their numbers.
Was there any increase if you're deleting all the COVID things? Was there any increase in any other
Well-
kind of shots given to?
What COVID things? Who's
People-
deleting?
No,
No,
is that what you're saying?
Okay.
when we
if
count
you take
excess
away-
deaths?
Last
Yeah,
dance.
if you
Last
is that
Dance.
what you're saying? If you take away the COVID
Yeah, you
deaths,
take away the
there's
COVID
still
deaths.
what's
Yeah.
left over?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Excess.
is
that's
excess
the only
deaths.
thing they
What-
said.
So what? I mean, was there any? Were more people taking
They're all
flu shots?
confused.
What are you getting at?
They're all.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
confused.
that.
Sorry.
Oh, I said, what was there more flu? Like, was there more flu shots given out, or was it just
Well, flu
is there
disappeared,
collation
didn't it?
with?
No, the flu was there are hardly any cases of flu over the COVID.
Yeah, remember
Well, yeah,
that
no,
year?
the last couple because we've been so.
No, the first
it-
year
it-
when we were all in quarantine and wearing masks and shit, there was
Yeah.
almost.
Oh, I'm
the
sure
flu
there was no
almost-
spread.
No,
If you're going to take a
non-existent.
disease that's less spread than the
La-
mainstream disease. Oh, just hold on, base. Jesus, I feel like
I'm
you're just,
trying to get something
just
in.
sitting there
I've been
trying to
for a while.
get all. Well, why don't you just go ahead because you lost my train of thought. What do you got?
Well, because knew I was going to lose mine if I hung on any longer. But Last Dance seems to be we were not. But
Sorry, cup of tea.
I know I can't even say it. Let me tell you this.
that.
Dr. John Campbell on YouTube, if you look at some of his content, honestly, it's quite shocking. He done one the other day from Australia. There's a 17.1% increase in excess deaths that are not related to COVID in Australia. And it's spiked up. Like summer of 20,000, and it's continued. And
Oh, okay, here.
Yeah, that's a good one from Smokesteve's wife.
Yeah,
No S
mean-
in there, just Smokesteve wife. No S.
Did I say
I don't.
Steve's?
I don't think
Yes.
that's. I think if that's true, wife, then
There you go.
if COVID was a major contributor to the death of, usually it's a respiratory condition or obesity, but if COVID is a major contributor, it'll be labeled as a COVID death.
There was also all the medical problems that weren't treated because of COVID.
Yeah.
People
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
turn up to hospital
So
because
that's
of the
one
COVID.
theory.
That's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's not a
That's-
theory. That's proven.
No, it's
that
fact.
Well,
people,
but
people,
That
people
I'm
didn't
not saying
go
it's
to
a theory.
hospital because
it's
they
one
were
of-
scared of getting
it's one-
COVID.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that-
it wouldn't cater for the amount. But it is
Exactly.
a part to play.
Yeah.
That was an advertising campaign here around Boston and Massachusetts, Boston, famous hospitals. They started advertising, if you feel something, stop ignoring it. It's not worth it.
Right.
Please come
All
in.
we got here was hands, face, space.
Here they were noticing it. Cardiac surgeons were noticing guys weren't responding like to, having heart palpitations or light minor chest pains. People were feeling that they may have had something going on in their body. They had cancer. They weren't going in right away. It was like because of COVID, it scared people off. Dental. There's so many people that fucking didn't go in and missed. Like now they're getting root canals, bridges, all kinds of things. Like
Speaking of, I haven't been to the dentist in 3 years. I think it's about time I book an appointment.
yeah, I just went and got all the X-rays. I'm looking good.
People are not low.
I'm not going because of anxiety. I know I've got to get a tooth scale and polished, and it's going to kill.
Dude, they gave me Novocaine for it. Didn't hurt at all.
They won't give it you. They just do it without it.
Oh, fuck that
And
shit.
I hate that pain in the gums when they're digging in to get up plaque off.
Oh, no. Here they give you all these little swabs covered in this gel that numbs everything. Then they give you the shots that numb your whole face is fucking numb.
Even when I do get the Novocaine shot in the side of the face, that that hurts as well as the pushing it in.
You know they use Novocaine to fatten out cocaine, don't you?
Well, it's a derivative of cocaine, isn't it? It doesn't give you the high that a
Gives you the
cocaine does.
numbing.
It's not called. Doesn't end in cane for no reason.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people were mixing Novocaine to get that numbness as well. Now.
So I should ask him for a quick sniff of it too.
I'd rather have a huff of nitrous before dentistry.
That's what you want to say. You're like, hey doc, can we just get the mask here? I'll take the breaths.
Just knock me out, God's sake, and then I'll be like,
the nitrous. It was a enjoyable experience to have some significant dental work done with the nitrous.
Yeah,
you don't give a shit, do you? You're like, wee.
Oh, it's better than that. It's actually an enjoyable thing. Your mind's working just fine, and it's kind of having a little bit of a psychedelic experience.
In
not quite.
Land.
Yeah. So I wanted to address a couple things that Carol Collins mentioned.
Please do.
She said they guess what strain of flu is going to be prevalent. That's true. In the United States they pick what they think are the 4 most likely strains, and they produce a vaccine they call it the quadrivalent vaccine that covers 4 strains. But I remember a year when I got that, and they got them all wrong, and I got a terrible case of the flu. I got so sick. I considered going to the emergency room when it was.
Would it not have been worse if you didn't have the jab anyway?
No, wouldn't have made the jab didn't do not a molecule of benefit, because the flu strains, the way they differ is much more than, say, COVID, for example.
Yeah.
So,
and they've never produced a flu vaccine where they said, if you take this, you're good.
Right.
It's a
if you're lucky and the strain that comes into your area is one of those that they guessed for, you're in good shape. Mm-hmm. But it's a guess.
I never got the flu shot. Never. And I had the flu, and man, when you have the flu, especially a bad case of it, you're laying in that bed, and it's seriously like some of the lowest points of my life are laying in bed with the flu.
It's a terrible
I don't want
disease.
that. And the last 10 years,
I've had it so bad that my body's just
right. The last 13 years since my son's been born, I've had it, the vaccine, and I haven't got the flu since. And it's so worth every time I
feel the same way. The last time I got the flu, when I got the vaccine, that was when my wife was still alive. I told her, man, I know that if I make it to be old enough, when I get a flu at that age, it's going to kill me.
Yeah, it's
because
horrible.
I could not handle this if I'm 80.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So I could see that point. As you get a little older, you're thinking, I don't want to fuck around with this.
And the other thing Carol says is that people are loath to say the vaccines could be causing these excess deaths. Well, some people are, certainly. The vaccine companies are, but I don't think anybody is afraid to go there from the medical community.
All mainstream media are afraid to go
there. Yeah, you know what they have their own agenda. But I think that the problem is that they just don't know yet. That there's just they just don't know.
Is Base getting at somehow it's the vaccine's fault that there's these excess?
Well, I'm not getting at that.
It could be.
Last chance is basically.
Okay.
I tend to agree with it. It definitely could be a part of it.
There was a.
It could be, but it could be a lot of things. It could be the combination.
Exactly.
Well, let's go with the what we consider to be the real healthiest people around. Sports athletes, stars.
We could bring some. That's crazy. Some of that. Sorry, mate.
Why are these people? Some of them just dying.
There's a small population that get a brain aneurysm from the vaccine.
What do you mean? Some of them are dying? Is there some?
Okay, I'll get you a clip now. I'll get you a clip where it was a marathon in South Africa, and 2 died and 72 went to hospital. Okay, in a marathon. right? And people say, oh, it was hot temperature. I put the temperature out on the day. You can get all that now, can't you? It was 19 degrees in this part of South Africa.
Jesus, they probably froze to death.
Yeah, no kidding. That's what I was thinking.
Cup of tea. If you do the brick, will I still have to pay you like a dentist?
19 Celsius, which is
19
like
Celsius,
65
Christ.
or something like that. 65. It's not fucking hot, right?
How many stones is that?
Right. How many hands?
I think what Carol's really talking about is trust. We don't trust our authorities anymore to investigate, to go where the data takes them, because they always have an agenda. This other agenda that
the data is like. I'm glad you're sort of you see what's going on because you're looking at the data rather than looking at the news. I mean, Australia it was 17%. Iceland had like a 45% increase in excess deaths. Israel was in the 40%. The UK is about 11%, I believe. But all these westernized countries all have excess deaths.
But we really don't have a clue as to what. We don't have a clue. We do know this though. Some things that we were told before are not true. We were told that COVID causes myocarditis worse than the vaccines. Now we know that there really isn't a myocarditis issue from COVID, the disease. It's but there is one. Very strong correlations between that and the vaccines in certain young men. The very men who shouldn't, who are are at least risk from developing serious complications without a vaccine.
I think it's 16 to 24s, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So just don't give them the vaccine. I mean, come on.
What are you doing pushing a vaccine on kids?
You know who got killed for saying that?
Almost anybody, if they dare say it.
Mr. Joe Rogan said that exact statement.
Yeah.
He got fucking torn apart. Even my good buddy who's coming over tomorrow night. Hey, buddy, if you're watching, love you.
My daughter was offered the vaccine and I refused.
Good. Why am I
it doesn't seem to be females as much, but then again, they're not. They also aren't at risk if they're young.
I mean,
the risk is very small.
She's only 10. There was no risk.
There's no need, right? There's no need.
Truth
She's a healthy 10-year-old.
I said, why am I saying good? Same for me, Biscuit. My kid, a couple years older than yours. We chose not to. Because like you said, she's healthy. She's healthier than me. That's for damn sure.
If she didn't get it, it wouldn't even affect her.
Yeah. I mean, when they talk about like children getting affected, that's because they've got pre-existing conditions. They've got other serious health problems.
What was that, bologna? What do you have, a slice of bologna?
Excuse me. Pardon me.
That was a banana.
Oh, banana. Okay.
Hey, McGrandy, good to see you.
Thank you.
What are you, a monkey?
Whoa!
Oh, I meant it. I meant
the banana, Steve.
Jesus Christ!
We're all monkeys, Bob Ross.
Now you're appropriating the Irish, Steve. Jeez. Lay off.
I don't know why I went Irish there. It was just like a weird response.
Top of the morning to you, son.
Speaking of McGrande, I wore this costume for a Live Leak video one time. There was a guy that used to, and Last Dance probably, well, McGrande might remember him too, but there was a guy that he used to like take ballistic gel and shoot into it with his gun and everything. He make Live Leak videos like how good.
I remember those.
You remember that? Yeah.
I think I remember a few of those.
I mocked it. I mocked it with this costume on, and oh shoot! Now I think I got two totally mixed up. I do. I got two videos.
There were some cool guys on there.
That's my train of thought.
You could be the president for the.
Now that you remind me of the shooting thing, there was a cool guy who was like a deer hunter who was friends with Sloop. I can't remember what his name was.
May he rest in peace.
Ed Kemper?
Maybe I think he used to get together with Sloop and like they'd hang out and shit.
Yeah, Ed Kemper, I think is who you're talking about.
And that's a serial killer, right?
Oh, a serial killer? What?
No, isn't the name Ed Kemper like?
Oh yeah. You might be right. I think it's a different. I think it's not Ed. It's something like Ed though.
Kemper though, maybe
because I feel like I had this conversation before with somebody.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but those
deja vu.
Did anyone see Creepy Joe touch
Here we go.
touch a girl on the shoulder and whisper in her ear again? You see that?
No.
This week?
No, he
Oh.
didn't.
His
He
old man.
didn't.
That's
And
so last year. I prefer when he just spaces out. Right?
That's-
Yeah,
Looking
but it's
into
what
it.
It's just the way he is.
It's what he said, Aphid. He said to this like 12-year-old girl. She was like a
Wait,
pretty
what
girl.
is it?
She goes, "Don't date anyone serious until you're 30." With his
Oh,
hands
yeah, I
on her
saw it.
shoulder.
I was
I know.
like, this is news?
And his protection, his close protection, told the photographer to fucking move away because they could see the optics was pretty poor.
You know, I'm
It's like,
seeing he's putting out some tweets lately, and they do not
Biden
sound
tweets?
like him at all.
Biden tweets.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, he
a
doesn't
regular
use-
normal person.
No, it's not. It's. I mean,
typed it out.
It's not that he. It's not that. I mean, I know he. Even if he wanted to tweet, he wouldn't actually type the tweets. But they don't even sound like his thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? Last Dance. That's funny you say that because I'm sure he has handlers.
Oh yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about, though.
But wait. I'm sure his handlers are
They
a
put
lot
ointment
less stressed
on his ass.
than Donald Trump's handlers.
Donald Trump tweeted directly.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
unfortunately the case.
Yeah, that was the case. He had no handlers.
That's right.
If he had handlers, he wouldn't have fucking done what he done.
Exactly.
You wouldn't have had Kofevi if he had handlers.
Right.
Yeah, well, I think that was good. I did. I think that was good. Kofefi.
Yeah.
He actually made a word up.
He
Thing
did.
is, Thing is,
Yeah, I saw
Biden-
that license plate a few months ago too. Someone made that.
Really?
Oh, no kidding. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
Kofefi.
Biden makes words up on a daily, but we don't know what those words mean and like what they refer to even daily.
Smoke wife. Yes, it's
I gotta
an
say, Welshman.
impeachable offense. Smoke wife.
Yeah, she's
But
totally.
so what do you? I was curious, last chance. What do you think about that? Because I heard that there's impeachment's just sitting ready to happen if they get the
I don't
their
believe it.
way.
The majority.
Yeah. Oh, you don't think so? You don't think so?
No,
So
I
what
don't.
would you?
What would the
What do you
charge
think if
be? What would the
You-
case?
They don't even care what the charges are.
You don't.
Yeah,
You don't need
democracy,
it.
innit?
You don't really need any excuse to impeach. You don't need a charge. Although they typically do put a list of charges, but there's no need for a charge. You can be impeached for any reason.
But I mean,
That's
are
crazy.
we really going to go
That's
through all
fucking
that?
crazy.
Like
Three impeachments.
I certainly
before-
hope not.
Is Mitch McConnell going to just sit by and be like, "Oh well,
Oh
I-
wait, are you saying they're going to just impeach as sort of
Stop it.
a
to stop him?
a
Yeah.
retaliatory?
No,
I
just
guess
stop it.
I guess Ted Cruz said he doesn't care what the reason is.
Yeah, but the thing
It's
is,
because
you
they
can't
did
go-
it to us, so we're going to do it to them.
Retaliation things are illegal in most law. You can't retaliate.
Not
No, you
not
can
for
do-
this
they can-
not for this House and the Senate. They can
Yeah, there's
retaliate.
nothing
Not when
stopping.
you're a congressman.
So they'll
There's
just
nothing.
keep impeaching. There'll be an impeach war.
Yes.
I mean, I don't care. You know, that kind of thinking is how these things keep going on forever. So it's be much better for the country to be the first one that says it stops here. That's the right thing to do, and it's also the important thing to do. And
Do you
and I
think
hope it
it's
will
ever
be
gonna
done.
Be like in the Republic of Georgia when they get into a fist fight in Parliament or on the floor there. Like, is that ever going to actually happen?
It keeps getting worse. I mean, I don't see any limit. You know, I don't see any point where it can't possibly go beyond this.
When I was
well,
younger,
since we're on this subject, may I just say real quick, and then right to you, McGrandy, that the recent action of violence towards Pelosi's
Yeah,
husband
with a hammer.
was absolutely an unbelievably disgusting display that I cannot fucking believe
So-
somebody did that. I only hope that he was absolutely fucking insane and that he didn't have any partisan fucking.
We know he did. He said, "Where's Nancy?"
Yeah, but let me
Yeah,
just
he's
break
the first
this down.
one to ever
lads.
say that. isn't he?
Let me just break this down, okay? The police turned up at his house at 2 a.m. to find two men in their underwear fighting over a hammer. All right, just sit on that a little bit. Two men in underwear fighting over a hammer.
Well,
2 in the
here's what
morning.
the
It
news
was a
story
welfare
goes
check.
over here.
All right,
Is
think
that-
about it, lads. Think about it.
You think so? You think he's? Oh, I'm just guessing. I'm just trying to catch your angle before you lay
Okay,
it down.
let me
Are
read
you-
some tweets. Let me read some
Wait,
tweets
hold on.
here.
Are you trying to say that her husband was in some gay sex with some male prostitute. And he attacked
Well-
him because the money wasn't exchanged just right, and he attacked him with a hammer. Is that what you're
Maybe-
getting?
No, he
may-
was gay, but he was
may-
obsessed with a hammer. That's the point.
Maybe he wanted to have some tips on his shares, but or he wouldn't allow it. Yeah,
Here's my-
Now,
Just-
do you think
maybe
that this might? Do you think that this might? We might gauge you and your opinions in the future if this turns out that you are completely wrong at this moment in time.
oh,
No
yeah.
way we won't,
Like I
'cause he's
was
always
with the
wrong.
kung flu. Like I was with the kung flu.
Hey, listen. Maybe
I don't want to
he
be rubbing
was-
your nose in it, lads. But none of you are taking any more, are you? I
Maybe
was right then.
Maybe the old man
Right about what?
felt like he was threatened, and he grabbed a hammer to defend
Missed it.
himself.
Well, there's 6 people on this panel, and 5 of them, or 4 of them, sorry, I know of, mostly won't be taking another one of those jabs. All right, they've been fucking coerced and blackmailed.
No,
and
no, no.
frightened
I
the
didn't
fuck
say
out of
that.
the thing.
I thing
I
is,
didn't say
based,
that.
I agreed with the vaccines in
I
the
have not
beginning
been
when the virus
blackmailed.
was highly virulent. Now it's not. You don't need it.
That's the
Yeah,
difference. The
Yeah, but
virus is
the
different.
vaccines are either bad or shit.
I may still get vaccines.
I'm not bothered about
COVID
what the
vaccines.
vaccine's like. I just think it was necessary 2 years ago when the
Okay.
vaccine was dangerous.
A sound of reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but, but,
reasonable
but, your, but
person here.
your opinions have generally twisted a good percentage across to not trusting the government or big pharma like you would have
Well,
done 2 years ago.
What I believe
I-
in
I have
is,
a comment on that.
not going overboard when it's not necessary, and
Yeah.
it's not necessary now. 2 years ago, it was necessary.
So let's go back to Pelosi then, right? This
On the
is
gay
what's
sex?
being reported. This is what's being reported. The police turned up as a welfare check, right? And they found 2 men in their underwear fighting over a hammer. Okay,
It's crazy that he was woke up in the middle of the night in his underwear. I would
So the-
never do
Yeah,
that.
and
Was-
the burglar was in his underwear. But the burglar was in his underwear.
Well, that's not. That's
First
not.
off,
Could
I
be a
don't know-
homeless
I
guy.
don't-
That's
I
not.
don't know that that's
that's not
the
Pelosi's
truth.
fault, is it?
All right,
Pelosi.
all right. Keep drinking that Kool-Aid.
I'm not drinking a cool. I'm just saying I'm withholding
What's he-
judgment
wait,
until
where was it reported
the
that he
facts
was
come
in his
out. And I didn't see that report
Yeah, I
either.
never saw that either.
No, I
I
saw
know
the
you-
think that
underwear
would-
thing.
Oh, you saw the underwear thing?
Yeah, totally. It was on.
Both of them was in their underwear.
It
Or
was
just...
on Pornhub.
It was on-
It
It was on
It might be.
kungflu.com, I think.
It
is
might
where
be
was at.
soon. You never know.
Yeah. Pornhub San Francisco. None of us are going on that. No, sorry, Bob.
Isn't San Francisco the gay capital of the country?
Nobody really knows,
I
but
would
it
say
certainly is.
that's a
There's a lot of
resounding,
openness.
That's a resounding yes.
I think it is down here.
Purely on size. It's
Biscuit
very
face.
large.
You got to Google Wilton
And
Manor-
curved, huh?
Wilton Manors
I
in
mean,
Fort
that
Lauderdale.
hill goes right from the ocean all the way up, right?
Yep.
To the, you
I
know
think
what?
the gays are pretty spread out these days. I don't think they're centrally located
Do
in
you?
San Francisco.
You
I
find
doubt.
them
I doubt
everywhere?
you'll find many
That's,
gays in Texas.
Yeah, maybe not in Texas.
There's a lot of
Or Alabama. Alabama's another one. They're pretty hard on them.
Nebraska.
According to one movie I know, there's only 2 things that come from Texas: steers and. Okay, I'm gonna keep
That's
looking.
true.
Ah,
So you got a 50-50 shot.
steers and
You ain't a
shares.
steer, boy. What
I ain't
was
seen
that?
no horns.
Is that Full Metal Jacket or
Yeah,
Apocalypse Now?
it wasn't Full Metal
Um,
Jacket.
Yeah, there's a couple of tweets been pushed out now. It's since so we are. A guy in underwear with a hammer managed to break into the home of Nancy Pelosi, and the police seem to arrive dead on time. And it says here then that so if I get the narrative right,
well, they didn't come that quick, did they? Because he's in hospital,
the-
and he with his injuries.
Well, let me
Well,
just
it
read
was a
this out.
hammer. The old man survived. That's pretty good.
So he was in a struggle with a
Fractured his skull with a
Correct.
hammer.
46-year-old
Mrs.
man
Wife.
over a hammer, and the police showed up in the nick of time. And yeah, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up, mate.
Well,
No,
because
that's up to
it never
me.
adds up in the beginning because there aren't enough facts that are publicly known.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, first of all, they had a central monitoring security system that automatically called for a wellness check because of the breach in the alarm.
Oh, okay.
That's why that happened. She's obviously a high level possibility for attack.
Right.
So the cops showed up very quickly because of this alarm.
So,
And
but
why
this
is
guy-
the intruder?
But still too late.
This
But
old
why
man
is the
was-
intruder? But why is the intruder in underwear?
Dude,
Well,
he
he's
could have
the
been.
guy's 82 years old. I don't think he's
No,
getting
the
it up.
attacker. You keep on saying
No,
the fucking
I
guy's
know,
82.
but what I'm
The
saying
attacker.
is
Why is the attacker in his underwear? Not about him.
He
Leave
could
him
have
Well,
been.
alone.
fucking
he's
Yeah, but are
clearly
you
crazy
saying-
enough to
Are
attack
you saying?
somebody.
Are you assuming that he was there like a welcome person? Like? Is that what you're getting?
That's
at?
what he sounds like he's saying.
Well,
So what I'm saying is
an
he's
intru-
82 years old, so he ain't getting it up enough to be able to have some male prostitute over.
Let me
his
just
house.
say this. Even if it was two lovers that had a fight, he still shouldn't be attacking. An
Right.
other old man shouldn't be attacking an old man.
Yes.
Well, and
yes,
the
yes,
the
but
fact that
people
this guy
think
had
if-
My Pillow guy all over his social media account because he believed everything he said.
I don't know
Oh,
if
what
that's
was
been
that?
verified yet.
Oh, really? They do know
Yeah,
his
no,
name. I
was
heard that.
verified. That was verified.
Wow, what
I
a
but-
saw
genius.
it from
Yeah, but
That I seriously doubt that he was,
okay.
he
So let's
fits the
ban,
MO.
let's
He fits
ban
the
Bernie
MO that
Sanders.
he's
Let's ban
looking
Bernie
like.
Sanders because one of his supporters attacked
Oh my
Republicans. Should we do that?
Oh my God.
I mean,
Are
Are
that's
you
what?
the
defending
logic.
this guy?
But
Why are
that's
you
the
bringing
logic.
up other
Guys, I
people that
gotta
did
tell you,
Yeah,
similar
because
things?
you
Are
just-
you
glad I
defending
don't know
this
you
guy?
anything you're talking
just
I'm
about
brought
gonna
it
right
up,
get
now.
some water
you
while you
just
guys
brought
are
it up.
fighting.
about the pillow guy,
Wait,
right?
get
And it's
some
just
around.
like, well, if you want to like blame the pillow guy for his actions, then let's blame Bernie Sanders
The only
for
reason I bring up the My Pillow guy
Well,
is
then
because you're
you're gonna
trying
get
to
it
act
back,
like
can
he's
you?
some gay lover guy. I doubt that some gay prostitute is going to have conspiracy theories and My Pillow stuff shared on his social media account. It
Take
just
it
don't
easy
line
on
up.
the My Pillow guy.
Come on.
It doesn't line up, man. It
Hey,
just
maybe
doesn't line up.
maybe Mike is gay. Who knows?
Maybe. Or he likes
Maybe.
pillows, so he likes to sleep in his underwear as well.
I personally think that they fell out. He wanted some information on some shares. He wants some share advice.
No, I think the guy was crazy and pretty much attacked an old man, and he knew where Pelosi lived. I think it was a targeted crazy person with a targeted attack.
Well, yeah, that'll be MAGA. That'll be MAGA.
No, I just think it may
Well,
have.
he also
had-
shared conspiracy theories about the
See, this is the
election.
thing,
Defo
like-
MAGA.
People want to like. And I know you're being totally facetious, Welsh.
Yeah,
here,
but I
people
would
want to-
agree with him though. It was probably a MAGA
I
guy.
knew you would.
But people want to just
seen you
rush
look up.
to label everybody. You know, I know a lot of like old Korean War veterans who are like, you know,
MAGA.
maybe Republican, but they're not going to be condoning fucking violence. You know, like they're
Well,
good Americans.
No one is.
Well, that's where you're wrong because there are a lot of people that are prone to violence.
No,
Huh?
condoning violence. Like I
Not,
just
not
said.
it's the same thing though. Smoke.
Yeah,
It's,
but I'm saying like a lot of them don't. And to,
no,
to
no,
group
no,
the whole
no, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the other guys who
Well.
Hey, Martin.
I'll give you a bit of.
condone
I'll
violence.
give you a bit of irony.
The Ballad of Marty.
Marty. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey,
Yeah,
Steve, I want to point out that McGrandy is smoking.
cigarettes.
Wow.
So just so you don't, you know,
YouTube,
say you never see him smoke.
It's
okay with me, McGrandy.
He's smoking a banana. That's what he's smoking.
Smoke it up.
You know the irony about Grande was saying then about people enjoy it or that they promote it and like Pelosi's daughter bigged up Rand Paul's neighbor, said I don't blame Rand Paul's neighbor for basically near enough half killing him. He had to have his fucking half his lung taken away, didn't he? And of course this has happened now to her dad.
That
So
was
she-
an attack that had nothing to do with tobacco. His neighbor attacked him.
Yes, but Pelosi's daughter bigged up the neighbor and said, "I don't blame the neighbor for attacking Rand Paul."
Oh,
You know,
So
I found
a couple
Well,
of years down the road, a fucking old man's being nicked, and that tweet has gone back to haunt her because they've all brought her a tweet out and they said, "Oh yeah, how do you feel about this now?"
yeah, Defiant
wonderful.
L on Twitter,
That's it.
who's
That's it,
a famous tweeter.
Great, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah,
Defiant
Defiant
Elves.
L pointed that out. In some ways, I feel like you gotta wait a little while. Like this old guy, I don't think this old guy did anything wrong, and he might be an unconnected party who literally got attacked by a hammer, and all this exterior stuff that's going on. I still think this old bastard got smashed up pretty good with the hammer that he grabbed for self-defense, mind you. He grabbed the hammer.
Okay.
The dude
right.
took it
Oh,
from him and beat the shit
Well, we don't
out
know,
of him.
do we?
Steve, can I ask you?
That's all
when
we
did
can,
this
can
happen?
agree on. They were both in underwear.
When
Well,
did
one of them was in bed asleep, and the other one was a crazy person who came to attack him. As far as I know,
In underwear.
When
yeah,
did
that
this
could happen. He could have been naked. You've
When
seen
was
cops,
this?
right, dude?
What if it were a neighbour and there was Nancy and what's the other guy's name? Nancy's husband.
Dude, I
Paul.
think it's Paul.
Nancy's husband.
Yeah.
What if
Dude.
Nancy and Paul were at it in the bedroom and making too much noise, and the neighbour came round because they were
Alright.
making too much noise and
All right,
smacked
I
the
don't
person?
even want to go there. I don't
Maybe
even
they wanted a
wanna
threesome.
Go there, Biscuit. We don't even want to go there.
Come on, us
Also-
old people have sex.
Nancy
course they do.
spends her
Yeah,
I
own
hope
spare
I hope
time-
I'm
really
still
wanna talk
I hope
about-
I'm still smashing it at 86.
You don't want to use the word smash when you're not.
Well played, well played.
Smashing hips and shit and breaking them.
In
Oh
anyways,
my God.
everyone in the U.S. knows that Nancy Pelosi doesn't spend a lot of time at home or in her own district. Okay, you know she's
Carol
in
is
Washington.
correct.
Yeah.
She's in Washington,
She's rarely home.
right? Which leaves a lot of time for apparently your theory based of these males to be coming over, but I don't know, doesn't work. And that's that.
Thank you.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
What you crunching there, Aphid Ross?
That's me, sorry.
I wasn't
it's
crunching
ape-based. I was just saying it sounds like food. I want to know what you're eating.
It's McVitie's milk chocolate biscuits.
Oh,
Biscuits,
man,
old,
I knew
old-time
I knew it
favourite.
was something crunchy and good.
Yeah.
But it's got milk and chocolate milk in it.
Oh.
You could, no deal.
Vits. Is that the?
I just had 2 boiled eggs for my tea.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Hard boiled or soft boiled?
Hard boiled. There was pre-made in a pack protein
Oh.
pot.
You can't boil them yourself.
I can, but why
Wow,
bother with
nice.
it?
Steve.
Biscuit, those are all.
I can do it myself,
Welshman,
but
those are awesome, man.
I want the ease
kill
of just
for
being able
those.
to go into the fridge, grab a couple of eggs, and be done.
Yeah, that grosses me out. An egg that's like been boiled and then
They were only bought today.
yeah, but they weren't boiled today.
No, they were probably boiled a couple of days ago.
That's the benefit of boiling them. They'll stay fresh longer.
Stable?
Stable. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't think they're stable for more than a few days, though.
No. You got to make your own eggs, buddy. Scramble them up.
I do.
Put some onions in there.
If I
Make
make
it
make scrambled, that's nice and easy. I just crack a couple into a jug and go whish, bit of salt and pepper in microwave. 2 minutes done.
Microwave? What?
Yeah.
Oh no! You got to put them in butter.
Oh no,
butter,
I put a tiny bit of butter in bottom, but
Just so you guys know, you guys got to check the store. There's been a break in the price of bacon, so check it out tomorrow. Prices come down. A lot of pigs down here anyway. It's like a 40%.
What is it now per gallon?
No, I'm talking about bacon, not milk.
Okay.
So
Last Dance is a vegan. He doesn't eat anything.
well, I'm talking to Aphid because I saw him get excited.
Love
when
bacon.
I said the bacon was going down, man.
That's it.
I usually just wait for
McVitie's.
I wait for. I know it's gonna seem
Yeah.
very odd for me, but I always wait for the bacon to go on sale when I buy it.
Exactly. It's happening now. The prices, they've got the,
Cup of tea.
you know, the pork loins in the package with all the spices. They're like 2 for 1. Because
And I bet UK bacon's still cheaper.
well,
No.
maybe.
Why do you think that? I mean,
Two,
No.
two.
£2 for 8 rashers.
We don't
What's
know
a
what
rasher?
that means.
It's about £2.50. I mean $2.50.
Yeah, but you're
No,
talking
we know about a pound
Wow, that's
sterling.
You're
It's
talking
a,
about
it's a
that
rasher. We don't know what that quantity is.
Yeah.
A rasher is like 1 slice.
Oh, fuck
Okay.
that.
You get 8
Yep.
slices.
They don't eat
8
it like that.
slices for that.
8
That's-
slices. Well,
That is pretty cheap. I admit that.
8 slices.
The thing is, just
$2.50.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same
That's-
price we have.
That's a good deal.
I mean, pig farming in America is not like, well, pig farming in the UK is pretty industrialized in the UK, but in
Not-
America it's worse.
It's a
And-
catastrophe in America.
The bacon we have is actually thick and
I don't like thick bacon.
more meat.
Well,
It's not.
No.
Like crispy.
That-
There's
Mate,
there's less
in
fat
some
in
place, in
UK
some
bacon.
places, I think there's about 20 states in America where they actually feed pigs human waste, including plastic.
That's disgusting.
And I've got the video, and I could
We
show
gotta
you.
put it
rules
somewhere.
Here. There's no rules here.
In it, Last Dance, there's about 20
Holy
states, is it?
shit. Well,
Yeah, I mean the environmental damage I've seen firsthand.
How so?
They shred it. They just shred it. They shred it into pellets. They shred plastic into pellets, cardboard, wood, anything, literally anything. They shred it into pellets and
Okay,
give it to the pigs.
Last
So-
chance yourself, your experience with it.
so based.
There's a
so
lot of
pork is haram.
Hold
Pork
on,
is
Vic.
haram, is what you're telling me.
I just wanted to hear what Last Dance had seen from this particular thing. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
because we trust his word.
As long as I make them think that Last Dance, and then you convince them, that's cool with me.
So when I first came to this area, which would have been around 1982, there's a beautiful natural area on the eastern shore of Maryland. It's not it's on the other side of the Chesapeake Bay. I can't remember the name of the state park, but it's along the Choptank River, and it was just a beautiful river. You could very clear water. You could canoe through it, and you'd see all these garfish. You know what a gar is? It's
Yeah, I do. I do.
you see these are big gar, not these
Yeah,
little
but
ones,
they
but
suck.
huge gar.
They got teeth. You
They
can't
got
eat
teeth.
them
They're
either.
called alligator gars and other
Big old flappers.
Yeah,
Would
And,
our equivalent be like a pike?
yeah, they're pipes.
No, the alligator
like
gar
pipes.
is a
Yes, it
very, very ancient fish. It's related to
So
some other
they've got like
ancient
an
fish.
alligator mouth on them, haven't they?
We used to eat them
Yeah.
all the time. They're a dominant species. They kill everything else around.
Yeah,
So-
that's
No
what.
fish, and
that's
that's
what
what you
pike
get.
do,
Gar. They suck.
And this was before the intensive industrial pig farms were set up on the eastern shore. And when I went back 30 years later, these rivers were turbid. You couldn't see anything. They were
Oh,
full of algae and stank. And
Is
they're-
that
they're-
because of farming using like
It's because
nitrate
of
chemicals?
exactly,
And stuff?
and not so much farming, but the pigs produce. They're very intensive. They put
A lot
a
of
billion
shit.
pigs together, and they
A lot of
produce
shit.
incredible amounts of shit.
Mm.
And it just runs off during heavy rain and into the streams and then into the bigger rivers, and they're
Yeah.
full
Well,
of basically
that-
full of nitrogen from pig shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
that
Then you get
causes
algae
an algae
blooms.
bloom. Yeah,
And you get algae
Algae.
blooms, and basically the whole river is destroyed.
Yeah.
where was this at? Where they got all the pig farms?
This was on the eastern shore of Maryland. They have pig farms now. They're more chicken farms, very intensive chicken. Like what's that? Purdue, for example, and Tyson have lots of.
Oh, that guy's
Well-
a good guy.
Well,
Well,
I got to tell you, Last Dance, we have a lot of algae blooms down here, and it's from agriculture.
Absolutely, agriculture is a big culprit.
why
Because
does
once
America?
you introduce the fertilizers into the system,
Why
what you
does
have
America
with,
chlorinate the chicken?
pardon me,
Chlorinate.
Why do you chlorinate
Yeah.
chickens in America?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know that they do.
Hygiene.
Maybe we're
Yeah,
worried about the
we
supply.
don't
That's
do it in
after
the
they're
UK.
killed. They just Some of them they spray with chlorine
Yeah.
solution.
Okay.
That can't be
Salmonella
good.
is a
That
big
can't be
problem.
good for your health.
Well, then,
But
but here's the thing about
Not all of
bleach.
them.
If you wash it off, depends on the intent, the percentage of the bleach, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Is the outside of
Industrialized.
your chickens like chemically burned white?
No, never.
See, they're processed in a very industrial setting, and they get chicken feces and chicken innards and so on. It gets all over the equipment and all over the chickens, and that increases the risk of certain.
Well, hire someone to clean out the coops every day. Jeez.
I mean, that
We're
they use
talking massive industrial production here.
they use phenomenal amounts of water in chicken processing. Now, I'm not talking
Yeah.
about cooking. I'm talking about cleaning and preparing.
Well,
for
we
market.
add water and salt to our chickens to plump them up and make.
No, I'm not
them
talking
more-
about adding to the. I'm talking about
Uh,
cleaning the chickens. They're sprayed with water at every stop, every stations. Water. The amount of water used in chicken processing is quite stupendous and wasteful.
Man,
So,
chicken wings are good though.
Ergo, we have
Exactly.
the runoff. Ergo, we have the runoff.
And you got
bacon?
the runoff, right?
And bacon, like if you gotta like cut out bacon and chicken wings, that's a tough sell, you know.
Yeah.
It's like driving a
Why
car.
don't we
you
go
know?
back to eating ducks? Duck.
Duck is
If
good.
people like ducks in America, they'd be produced by the billions and
Hell
with
yeah,
the same
they-
problem in the same way.
I love
Well,
duck.
here
I
in
don't know why
here
it
in
is-
Eng- here in England, duck used to be the predominant meat before
Uh-huh.
chickens.
Right, because it was probably easier to acquire.
Ducks are oily though. It's like
Oh,
oil.
They are more fatty than chicken, a lot more fatty.
Well, that was a plus in the day.
Well, maybe that fat has a purpose. You know, if you
Well, if
You
you
make
if you if
soups,
you if you
and you can
strain
have
it all out, you can use
potatoes.
it to cook in and all sorts.
yeah, you can use that. You can make great gravies. Who knows?
There's an interesting thing. There's a river here called the Illinois River. It's real close to where I live, and it's overrun by these carp. They call them
Asian carp.
these Asian carp, and they changed the name. I can't remember what the new name is, but they changed the name to try to influence people because people don't want to eat carp. You know, here's a carp sandwich, but they changed the name of it when it's because they're trying to convince people that it's good to eat because there's so many. It's like if you run a boat down this river by my house, you know, well a little bit further away, they jump into the boat. They're like
Yeah,
jumping and hit.
these are the jumpers
Yeah, it's
that you've
crazy.
seen in those those
I've
videos.
seen them.
Yeah.
It's
Are they
crazy.
called? Isn't one of them called? Oh, that's maybe the Mississippi. Is it silver something? One of them's called. It's invasive, and like you said, it flies because it gets excited by the engines, and they just
Yeah. It's a carp.
I've only heard it called the Asian carp,
Right,
but they
okay.
might have other names too.
So, have you tried them, Aphid?
No, I haven't. But if they taste good, I don't care. Like I don't if a rat tastes good, and we had to get rid of the rat population. Why do I care what it's called? You know, I mean, it don't make no difference. A chicken is a
Have
chicken,
you
and
ever
rat's
seen
a
the
rat.
fish? What they look like?
If anyone wants to see
They look
the
like
plas-
a carp,
the
like
plastic
a
farming,
scaly
I'll put
carp.
it in the back chat. In the back chat there's shows them shredding the plastic and then feeding the plastic to the pigs.
If
all
that
in
gets a
one.
crispy crust on my bacon, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Bacon
That's
came
good,
down
but
in
I-
price. I gotta tell
I
you, it
mean,
came down in
we're
price.
already-
I eat as much as I can.
We're already eating microplastics anyway
I
with
mean-
anything you
With
eat.
fish.
They brought the
Fish.
McRib back. That's I don't know if they sell that at McDonald's in other parts of the world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's back now. I
it's
saw
not it's not very
Hell
often,
yeah.
but they do bring it out every now and then.
It's on the sign now at our local McDonald. I noticed.
A
it.
barbecue
it's
McRib.
It's the sorriest excuse of
God.
what you could possibly pass over.
It's
as
not really
meat.
a rib though, is it? It's more of a
No, it's
a
not.
reconstituted ridged burger.
But I tell you
pork
what, I
burger.
know that thing is like the worst thing in the world that I could like put into my body. I know it. You know, I know it. Besides the cigarette that I'm smoking, because I can't wait to get to the
You
McDonald's
buy
and get
one
my
every
crappy
time?
every time, man.
Yeah!
It came out the other day, and I was like, hell yeah.
I mean, is it the McRib or the sauce that you really like?
I
I don't
occasionally
know what it is.
I
It's-
occasionally
it's
get a
just- I
sweet
love it.
chili chicken grilled wrap
Oh, that's terrible.
from McDonald's.
You
Well,
know,
see, they would
guys,
never have sweet chili here in America.
But I mean, what I'm saying, what
There's,
I'm getting
there's
at,
only
what I'm getting at-
340 calories, and that's
Hey,
a
kid, I
perfect
gotta give
meal
you
for me.
hope. It's been years since I've gone. I used to go there for breakfast in my later years, but I've stayed away from McDonald's. And every time I've tried it, it's got me like sick. And the
Yeah,
beauty of it is
Of
if
course
you
it
leave
does.
that shit alone, your body will reject it. It will reject it. I can tell you
Man,
right now.
I
Yeah, I
totally
don't believe
get
I
all.
that.
pretty
I
much
totally
eat
get
my
all.
own food. I
I
make
don't.
my own food. You know?
I don't buy that.
I cook. Because of
Wow.
my son's condition, I have to cook almost everything inside this house.
So,
But so, but I'm just. I
oh,
don't
you're
care if they
rebelling.
told me people. I don't care if people tell me that the worst thing in the possible world that could be done to that McRib. Like but my expectations are already as low as they could possibly be, and I still am going to eat that sandwich, and I'm going to
Look,
enjoy it, and I'm going to
I,
love it.
wait, I got to confess. I applaud you because I would do the same thing. I don't give a shit. People give me food, I'll eat it. You know,
Well, I'm
but
not so much
but
like
I'm,
like
I'm
I'm
not
not
going to
just
be
sitting there like
biased. But as a pattern, you need to stay away from that crap,
yeah,
man.
but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Like I could care less what
Whoa.
goes into my body. That's not what I'm saying. Like I try to eat as healthy as I possibly can because I know the benefits from it. I'm just saying my expectations are so low, but I still enjoy my experience of eating that thing. So, I put that aside and I weigh
Do you
the
know? Do you
risk,
know
and
why
that is
you
my
enjoy it?
reward.
Do you know
Don't
why you
deprive
enjoy it,
yourself.
Aphid?
Tastes good.
Because
That's
it
why.
tastes good. It
No, it
reminds
does.
me of
It
when I was a
doesn't.
kid
No, it doesn't
getting a
taste good.
McRib.
It's because they deprive you of it for about 7 months, and then they bring it
Well,
out.
if it was there all the time, I probably wouldn't get it that often. But
That's the
when it's
exact
there, I'm
reason why
going
they
to
don't
get it.
have it all the time. They keep it off the menu for 6-7 months, and then they put it on for a month, just so that they can actually sell some.
But can I ask you something? How do you know about this? Is it just the signs, or you're hearing it on the radio?
No,
Or
no,
TV?
no. It was on a YouTube show called
No, I'm asking
Food
Aphid.
Theory. Oh, all right.
How do I know about it? Because
Yeah.
my wife and son were in a hurry and they
Uh,
had to stop at the McDonald's, right? And they
uh,
came back and they had me a McRib. I didn't know it was coming, but it was
yes.
there and it was just ready for me to eat. And I was like, "Thank you guys.
Beautiful.
You got me a
Because they know
McRib. You
you.
know
They
how
know
much
you
I
love
like
it.
it." That's
Beautiful.
right.
Well,
I'm
that's
loving
nice.
it.
Because instead of being a crazy man, it was a family experience. It's something you'll always treasure.
I mean, we can candy coat it any way you want. I don't care. I'm still eating my McRib. And I'm not going to be ashamed of it, and I'm not going to
No,
You know,
care
and
if somebody
I'm
wants to
proud of
tell
you.
me every year on Twitter, like,
Fuck that.
what horrible things were done to create this little patty
I
of
hear you. I hear
slop.
you.
when I was a
It's
kid,
not going to change my opinion.
this would have been like 1969, 1970. It was a tremendous treat and exciting for my parents to take us all out to have dinner at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
I mean,
remember
that
when the
was
first Burger King opened up. It was 60 cents. Have it your way. And if you didn't get it in 60 seconds, it was free.
what. Furthermore, in those days, you thought of McDonald's as the healthy alternative
Oh, yeah.
to
You're like,
local greasy spoons,
right.
and it was clean and healthy, and this is just considered the modern marvel.
A gallon of salt's good for you.
Well, they also had smaller sized meals back then too.
The what?
The meals were smaller. You would get,
Oh, yeah.
a small hamburger,
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. They're rather.
small fries, 8
they're very-
ounces of soda. That was a meal.
Yeah.
They are
right.
very small portions here.
huh. Yeah, so they went from being
Oh.
initially tiny to then mega, like Mick. What did they use? Supersize.
Super size.
The only
That's
problem,
it.
the only
Hungry now,
problem
man.
is they've made them smaller, but packed more fucking calories in them. When you look
Now
at
they've gone back down again, but they're still high calorie.
yeah, I think a Big Mac has like 900 calories in it.
Dude, I remember Burger King. It was have it your way. So you could say, I want a Whopper, extra onions.
One
extra
thing I do like
tomatoes,
about Burger
extra
King is they actually
cheese."
put fresh salad in it. They put tomatoes, lettuce, onions, fresh.
Ah,
I agree.
Thank God.
I do like even when I get an Impossible Whopper, which is the vegan patty. You get a slice of tomato. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
They
yeah.
don't do that in McDonald's. They give you some mashed up shit.
Yeah.
Well, Impossible Whopper. Never had one. Have
Me
you
neither.
have Last Dance?
Yes.
Decent?
Yeah, it's good. Technically, the bun is not vegan.
Oh, because they put the egg wash to get the sesame seeds. to
No,
stick.
it actually has some small amount of milk whey protein or something in it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that bun that comes with the Whopper, at least the regular Whopper, has egg in it.
It
I
could
think.
be. I mean,
Because I feel like for some reason for a while that it didn't have egg because my
if
son
it, if
can't
it's
have
if it
eggs.
looks shiny, then that's probably an egg
Oh,
wash.
yeah, I'm
Well,
pretty sure
it's
they brush
isn't
it with egg to get the
Yeah,
sesame.
is
it
it
could
not
be.
labeled vegetarian, not vegan?
It's labeled vegetarian, not
Yeah,
vegan.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
God,
I could be
you guys
wrong,
are
but you
getting
might
me
want to check
hungry,
that
man. I got
For
4
some shit.
shots over there.
for some shit food.
My new stomach is doing me great.
Good for you,
We
buddy.
shouldn't talk about this in your state.
How are we doing?
Smokesteve's he's fading. He is fading. It's obvious.
I'm here. I'm in the room,
That's,
bro.
you're
that's who
fading,
I'm
dude.
talking to.
I am good. I've been talking. Is my microphone low? Is this thing?
No, your microphone's
No,
not
you're
low.
fine.
The only microphone who's low is, I think, maybe bass is a little low.
No, that's
His
okay,
is
though.
off.
Let's not point that out.
No, I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's back. He unmuted. Now he's muted again.
I mean, we can still hear him because he's got a powerful voice. But
Right.
Is my microphone's volume normal or is it quite
Yes,
high?
it
Or?
seems pretty
absolutely
normal.
perfect. Crystal clear and perfect. Not too loud. It's nice.
Very nice. Very
Sick.
nice.
Good
It
job.
was set good out of factory. Nice.
Biscuit, what was the problem with your last one? Because I thought you always had decent audio. when you were using it.
The old one had to use that phantom power thing, and it,
Oh, yeah.
it changed its levels all the time, and then I had to use that stupid headset that kept cutting out and then feeding the audio from my headset into the
So
microphone.
that's a USB one.
This is a USB one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yeah. And it's got a nice little light that goes red when I do this.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
hey,
Very cool.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
can I
Now-
switch
now you can.
switch topics now?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Switch away.
Any of you guys hear any bits of the Fetterman Oz debate in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
What'd you think?
I saw some headlines. Fill
I
us in.
saw that essentially when they asked Fetterman to explain in 60 seconds why you should be governor, the first thing he said was good night. Good night,
Yeah,
everyone.
So it's clear that he's much more damaged than the
Right.
campaign let on.
Yeah, from his heart
So,
attack.
but the real question,
Stroke.
and it's apparent when he speaks.
He had a stroke, McGrandy.
He has
Yeah,
stroke.
okay, stroke. The guy was a stud before that, but yeah.
Well, it's a
What you
classic
guys are describing
Democrat
is
fuck up.
classic example of brain damage.
It's a classic Democrat fuck up. That everything's on the line, and they have this guy out there.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Wait, what the fuck, dude? Come on. I mean,
Yeah,
Jesus.
Now, I think to give, there's been a lot of, the Republicans are, obviously
Salivating.
trashing him and saying he couldn't be. But you really did to think that, unlike the president, the senators don't really have to speak that often. Their work is mostly done in the office and by staff. So the real question is, do you think it's that big of a deal? I want to say it's really not that big of a deal, but it does count. So
Wow.
In
I
our
continue to
conversation,
be amazed at you, Last Dance.
in our
Well.
conversation, Last Dance, I understand what you mean by saying it's not that big of a deal, but in the sense of the voters, I think it's a huge deal.
And I think you're right. And they have, they might not be comfortable with someone who's, doesn't appear to.
Who's
Have
healing? A person who's healing. Maybe.
Well-
We don't know.
If he heals, then they might be willing to let him in. But I don't know. I think he's probably spooked some people on that
No,
debate.
he's fucked. That's the truth.
I
They
don't know
probably
about
should
that.
have. He probably should have came out earlier, and that way they could see if he's improving. Like if they would have showed him at the beginning, and he was like, "Oh,
Exactly.
because that would show that like in another month he might be fine. But you're not gonna
Either
know
that or just not have debated.
No more
Yeah,
baby
he
food.
shouldn't have debated.
You shouldn't
He
have
definitely
debated.
shouldn't have debated.
Wait, he was
And
going
just
against
let-
Oz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
he's going against Oz.
that's
Hey,
pretty
man.
pitiful because there's so much on Oz to debate that he's like the weak,
It's a
the,
perfect storm, though. The
the,
dude
the
had a
weak
stroke. What
leg,
are you
you
gonna
know.
do?
So Oz lucked out because the guy's got
Plus-
brain damage.
Plus, they
Ah.
got this Herschel Walker dude, and he's
Ah.
neck and neck with the Warnock guy. I mean, come on. People's standards are pretty low, you know.
We live in weird times.
It's exactly. It's all partisan
They're like,
nonsense.
oh, he's going for abortion, but he's had like 10. Oh,
Here-
let's let him in anyway.
Here's what I think we should do.
He's not the other guy.
We should shut down the internet and rely on AM radio.
Real quick, Carol Collins, if that's you down below, can you just go ahead and turn your camera on so I can see you and give me a wave? Go ahead, give me a wave, Carol.
Carol finally made it, and she's like, she's
Now she has to.
It's somebody that's been watching this show, and she's gonna act like she's Carol.
No, I mean,
Hey,
Oh,
Carol.
yeah.
Oh, it was. It was. See, this is awesome. This is awesome, Smokes. The highlight of tonight.
but wait, 10-second delay. I think I beat it.
I haven't seen it come up here on the other screen, so maybe
We got it on. I didn't see it on the. I wasn't watching the YouTube one. It's just
No, but YouTube gives me 10 seconds to
Okay.
get into stuff. So
good job.
I think
That's
I beat
funny.
it.
you might have. I don't know if I saw it on the screen.
So
funny.
we only ones that got the treat.
Oh.
Here's a little bit of a nugget. The wave was from a woman.
Really?
Wow.
I saw a woman who did unlock the camera and wave.
Wow.
Possibly red hair.
Mm.
It's not her.
Natalie?
I trust you, Karen.
No,
Or
we trust
Karen.
you, Carol.
Carol.
But
Carol.
We're just trying to figure out who it actually was who was your imposter.
Wow. What time is it in Australia?
What does that matter? Carol's not in Australia.
That's
No,
the most
but
random question ever.
But the Saracen may be.
Oh, that's
McGrande's scorn from those Australians, so he thinks they got to be from Australia.
That was fun. I mean, let's now I know. Okay, yeah, that doesn't even work anymore. How do I vet people? What do I do? They
Do something
You're gonna have to
different.
change. You're gonna have to change it every week because
Yeah.
they're gonna whatever you say right now, they're gonna use
They're
it.
going to have to
no
do
that person
Or
that
Steve,
person
you're gonna have to do the
here's what you can
preamble
do,
to
Smoke
the
Steve. You can stop
Declaration of
worrying so
Independence.
much. Just let everybody on, and if they do something like that, you kick them off. And
And
that's
it'll only be a
how it
few
is.
seconds at most that they'll be
like
on.
I did right then. You're right because
Yeah,
that
it's
person.
beautiful.
Why are you
person-
sweating it so much? It's not gonna
Yeah.
that just happened. It's not gonna ruin your weekend. You're
No,
fine,
you're right.
dude. You're gonna hang out with your bro tomorrow. You're gonna have a
Yeah.
great time.
Yeah.
Everything
That
is
person-
fine.
That person just literally showed their hand and didn't care, but they almost showed themselves.
Oh my God.
Now, I'm not really sure what I saw. Was that a turkey baster?
I don't
No,
know.
you got to remember, I saw the actual person who was making that troll video.
Yeah,
They turned on their own camera and gave me the peace sign.
they probably prepared way too much to get past
Maybe
your
they-
screening.
No, but they had their head turned away and they were thinking that would be enough because I said Carol showed the peace sign, so they did that. Do you follow me? So that was
Yeah.
actually them, and then they switched it immediately over to the porn feed
Well,
when I clicked
Wow.
on them.
So
What's Carol look like? I've always wondered what she looked like. Can you describe her?
It wasn't Carol. We get that right now, right? It
Well,
was.
maybe
this
you
other
should.
person.
Here's one idea. You should give if this person is known to be in the chat at the same time, on the YouTube chat. Make sure that they say, "Yeah, that's me" in their chat.
That's true.
That's a good idea.
First.
Yes. I'll announce who it is because you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah,
can't
say,
necessarily see
hey,
it.
Carol,
Last
say
Dance,
that's me.
great idea for vetting.
Now they may come into the chat as something like Carol Collins with a zero instead of a O. But we'll look carefully at it and we'll figure out that it's not them.
There he is. That's who it
It's,
was.
it was. It did have a similar.
Fucking bastard.
I thought I recognized you.
Yep.
That wasn't Marty. That was Backdoor Loads.
At least your Google searches match up.
Hilarious. Very funny, Mark. Very well done. Well, join in. The link is in the description, brother. Get on here. Don't know what accent that is.
So I don't know. Has there been polls done
I'm gonna
after
make some
Fetterman's
lemonade.
debate?
I don't know,
I
but
think
that
he
was
said that it's going to be a couple more days before the
Okay.
polls come out. Yeah, but
that
you'd have
next
to
morning.
think.
That next morning on the overlap time when me and my lady were out here and we happened to have the stupid morning shows on and that came on, I was like, not good. She was like, what the fuck? Why did they do this? Why is he there? I mean, who put somebody up on stage when they're seemingly in somewhat of a medical distress? You know,
I was just going to say that's the other thing is you're making them struggle.
Yes,
when they should be trying to heal and get better.
the guy could probably speak like to a relative in low light, probably with no mistakes. You put him on stage in a high stress situation, his brain is rattled. He had a fucking stroke, He's gonna fuck up, man.
And that is pretty high stress.
Totally sucks.
Yeah, I saw after the debate he got interviewed and he said something about, I'm going to keep getting better and, Dr. Oz is going to be the same, bad choice, and that should have been, they should have ran with that from the beginning because,
You mean that should have been, they should have said and showed exactly what his state was.
Yeah, they should have played more into that, because
yeah, exactly. Well, I'm
coming out the very end, like we're gonna do this debate and hope he's better by then.
I'm going to keep getting better, but Dr. Oz will always be a tool.
Right. He should just kept repeating that. If he didn't know what he was supposed to say, just say that.
I don't know how they do. I just don't understand politics anymore.
But he had a stroke, so he might not even be able to remember one sentence like that to get himself out of jail.
Well, if he's that bad, then he probably really shouldn't be running.
I mean, maybe he shouldn't,
Yeah.
But like, and I'm under the opinion that if it's half and half, so be it. Maybe it should be like that. I don't really have a problem with when it's like that. I hate when one side has, total control.
I agree.
It seems like they never get anything done anyway.
Right. Now that I remember, I think he was already a candidate when he had the stroke.
Oh yeah, totally.
So he'd have to.
It was on the home stretch.
Yeah, well, it was a while ago, several months, but
it was a while ago. But it was set that it was going to be him and us.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Do you guys think if somebody on the other side had a stroke in coming up to an election, there might be potentially calls for some sort of investigation? Like, why did it happen? Like, did somebody cause this?
Well,
who knows? We live in such crazy times. I want to say no one would do that, but
but it hasn't happened on his side that he exists on. But if you flip this to him,
you know what, Steve? I bet if you go deep enough into the sordid mess of the internet, you'll find it. There's someone who's saying that this was a dirty trick, and they poured stroke oil into his bacon or something.
Right.
I'm pretty sure what Last Dance is trying to convey here is that the conservatives are much more gullible, is what he's trying to say.
No, actually, I'm not. They are more gullible, but I don't know if I'd say much more gullible.
But he's talking purely about the Democrats on this.
And I'm talking about Democrats on this one.
Yeah, he's saying that somewhere in the deep, dark caverns of Democrats.
Yeah, but it didn't stick like it would with the Republicans.
No,
it didn't go viral.
It doesn't spread.
Right.
Into a mass movement of idiocy.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Interesting. Look at you guys. ganging up on the Republicans.
No, not all of them. I'm just talking about a certain set of them.
You're right.
Yeah, well, no, Aphin's like, no, I'm ganging up on all of them. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
I'm a
No,
Republican,
no,
so
no. I don't think that.
not ganging up on myself.
I don't think that.
Right.
But I think that there's a serious like
Self
part
hate.
of the. I think there's a serious part of the conservative movement. Let's just call it that is just completely falls for anything that a certain group of people want to say. Like in a totally almost mind controlling sort of way. Like, oh, you don't like abortion? Well, we're going to tell you that everything, not even rape, is acceptable, and they're going to be like, okay, now we think that
Yeah.
way.
It's a credibility issue. It's all a bunch of pikers that are out there worried about their political careers instead of standing up.
Well,
for
and
what's
the,
right.
and the inability to squash it out before it's grown into such a monster that it
because
is
they're
right now.
cowards.
No, I don't think that. I think it's
No,
just
they
that
are. They're more
they-
worried about their
I
jobs.
don't.
They're-
No,
they're-
I think that it's just
no.
they hate the other side so much that they
they're
don't want to even
victims.
give up.
They're,
They'll say, hold on.
they're
They'll
victims
say
of
that
the terror. Okay.
they'll say that we'll not say much about these group of the people because they're helping us out at the polls to help get what we want, that we're not going to complain about it, and it's grown into this monster now that it's almost it could be a majority of the of that side of the political spectrum at some point.
Because they're terrorized. It's
That's the same
way
for
the
all
Nazis
politicians.
Came to power. Nazis
It is
came
the
to power
same, but
way.
there's
It's
you're
the
absolutely right,
terror.
because on the left you got this like nobody wants, if they just stamp down the whole like transgender thing,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like
Exactly.
dudes playing and female
Yep.
sports
Exactly.
that are gonna just like hurt women and get away with it, and we're gonna
Yeah.
just sit by and like be like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. If
Yeah.
they would just get rid of that, like just stomp that. It's such a small thing to
Anything.
give up,
Let's switch
that
the,
they
the
could get
page.
so many people to get on their side. It's
The
unbelievable.
page is what, like you're saying, is the problem is the Democratic Party because they have embraced extremists. I'm an old Dixiecrat. I mean, I'm a old Southern Democrat, and
Old Southern
believe me,
racist.
No, not at all.
I'm just
Absolutely
kidding.
not
I
at
know
all.
you're not. I'm just kidding.
My point is that a lot of the conservative values that a lot of these people espouse were part of the Democratic Party, and we were all about helping people, and it was all, and we didn't this fringe nonsense about sexuality and all that is something people should talk about at their house with their spouse, with whoever. Here's the problem. They were hijacked by a lot of the extremists, and it cast a giant shadow over the party. So the true message of the Democratic Party, which is the government works for me, the taxes should be from the benefits of the revenue of the nation should come to the people. That's the old Democratic Party. And instead of all this political nonsense about people wanting to wear dresses and stuff like that. And that's the pity.
I think what they need to do is like some kind of like Indian peace agreement where both sides come together and they're like, look, you got these whack jobs over here that are in your party, and they get too much say so, and we got these whack jobs over here that have too much say so over what happens. We just need to come together and both agree that we're gonna just shove off both those sides, and we're gonna get a lot more shit done if we do that.
Here's the problem. If they got the big orange extremists.
Yeah, but you still got the other
and
side
they're terrorized.
It doesn't have no orange man.
They're terrorized. Nobody has any fucking balls anymore.
No politicians
Anybody
ever
that
had
had
balls.
resigned. That's what happened.
Well, I mean, there's been times in history where you had a leader, a politician, that was like, you look back at you listen to what they say, and you're like, man, I can get I'm motivated by what they're saying. You don't have that now. You don't have some
Do you know why?
No inspiration
on either side that get up there and say something where you're like, I'm going to go fight for this person because They're saying what I believe in.
Because
We
if
don't
you're
have
a
nobody like that.
Republican, if you're a Republican, you're going against Trump, and you're going to be crucified. And if you're a Democrat, first of all, Democrats don't have anybody that is. And I hate to say it, I never thought Obama would be the most inspiring person that he became. There is no talent in the Democratic Party. There is none.
There's no talent on either side.
Or anybody that has balls or any sense. I mean, I'm in Florida. Everybody's carrying around DeSantis signs, and this guy's a complete friggin' idiot. I got to tell you. First of all, I went through the unemployment thing during COVID with my wife. The system failed completely. They never were online. It was a orchestrated catastrophe. And then when people had the ability to get additional benefits, he cut them off for political reasons. And nobody talks about that. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, and everything he says, if you watch this debate, freedom. They all want to use that word freedom. You know, I watched the movie with Mel Gibson. You remember the one he was in Scotland fighting for freedom? It was the same empty word. They all use that word freedom, and it kills me because DeSantis is the worst guy for freedom. He's a book burner. He's actually interrupting prosecutors in different districts that don't agree with him. He's going after superintendents of school districts that don't agree with him. He's going after Disney because they don't agree with him. It's actually amazing to see this political vendetta play out before our eyes, and nobody sees what kind of guy this is. So I'm living in that state, and they got his
I
signs
don't
up.
care what side they're on, as long as they say, you know, good stuff and show qualities to motivate, you know, their constituency.
The only thing I have to say is about DeSantis is he was good about the environment, but not really, because we still have the allergy thing. What you have to understand what's going on, the geography down here, that years ago, big sugar took over everything north and south of the Lake Okeechobee, and a lot of fertilizer we were talking about earlier.
Base is gonna break it down.
You mentioned book burning with DeSantis. I'd like you to explain what you mean by book burning.
Well, he has got his like secret police that actually are looking at curriculum.
Secret police.
Oh. Braveheart, Mrs. Lip. Braveheart.
This is getting more fascist. So secret police and book burning. Okay, are you going to any like?
You asked for a response, didn't you?
Yeah, are they going to do any salutes next?
They're going through all the textbooks and they're discarding them. They don't want to talk about a lot of things in American history.
Yeah. What are these things that they don't want to talk about? Specific.
A lot of them happen to be about the result of Western expansionism and the effect on indigenous peoples.
Look at Smokesteve. Has anybody noticed him?
Yeah. Is it not to do with gay sex and hardcore sexual acts in books? Is that the book you're on about?
No,
the specific book you're on about?
I think that is what.
That's specifically the book you're on about. The one that shows blowjobs and anal sex in it. That's
Can I get that book?
You're talking about
book you're on about. That's your
I'm talking about many.
Last
let
stand
me
on
very
the
clear.
same page.
I don't
You're
have
talking
a problem.
shit. You're
I don't
talking
have a
shit
problem
like you
with
always
any.
do. Secret police. Okay, the reason why he's having
I'm
to go
not
to
going
the
to shout over
governors.
you.
Well, okay, the reason he's having to go to the governors and the teachers is because of all the CRT bullshit and this shit about fucking showing anal sex and sexual acts in books going out to like 10 and 12-year-olds. That's what he fucking bans. If you think that's fucking normal and that's normalized, you're going against half the panel members here because they were just expressing their views on all that shit.
What if
about
it was
trans
just
and all that
regular
fucking
sex?
degeneracy, and there you are calling him out, saying he's a book burner with fucking secret police, when really what it is, he doesn't want a book going to fucking 10, 12-year-olds to talk about anal sex and all the other shit. All right?
Well,
No, that's not true at all.
It is fucking
No.
true. That's exactly what it is.
no, we need evidence here. Just because you can speak louder doesn't mean you're right.
No, but you
And
just
I'm
speak
living
shit.
this every day.
Do you mean to get
I
it?
see what's going on. He's subverting. He's subverting
He's just a
school
freak.
boards throughout the county. He is influencing prosecutors in different counties. He has banned the supervisor.
Yeah, that's why everyone's
He's
moving to
throwing out our
Florida.
sheriff.
That's why everyone's
He
moving
threw out
to
our
Florida.
sheriff. No, you don't understand what's going on. The
So
guy
everyone's
failed.
going
People
to Florida.
couldn't get their unemployment payments because his designed failure didn't allow them. The systems failed. People, and guess what? You couldn't get through on the telephone. People were waiting 48 hours to make a phone call. The guy is a fucking joke.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be fooled.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
got the Bronze Star in the Navy.
Everyone's
and he
leaving
didn't even
California
go into
and they're going
combat.
to Texas and they're
He's
going
a
to Florida.
fraud.
You've got Democrats leaving these fucking Democrat cities like fucking counties like California, and they're going to Texas. You know that. I mean, we know this, and they're going to Florida.
Wow, that was a nice change of the topic.
Yeah, but that's what's happening, mate. I mean, obviously he's doing something, right?
No,
they're going
no,
to
they're
Florida.
not. They're not. It's all based on the news you're hearing. I'm the man on the ground here. I'm the man on the ground. I know what's going on.
Let's be honest. No one could be any further left than you. You want degeneracy being taught to kids.
I am not that far left, dude.
You fucking are.
Well, okay, I'll take that as a badge.
Yeah.
But the reality is I'm a reasonable person. The government works for me. I am not going to allow them to steal my money, and I'm not going to allow them to tax me instead of taxing the rich bastards that are up on top.
Look how into it Smokesteve is.
I'm not much more into it.
You just talk a lot with no evidence.
Well, I asked you to produce that evidence about the book with the anal sex.
I mean, what about the secret police, the Nazi police? You were talking
Dude,
about.
They got people harassing people at voting stations.
You just so honest to God.
Steve, I'll yield to you.
It's so
Steve.
politicized. It's unbelievable.
Smokesteve's
Smokesteve's
going to interject.
Yeah, you
right
can
here.
interject. That's fine. Banning books, though. Fucking hell.
What do you?
He is a book burner. You have no idea how many books he's banned. The textbooks are being rewritten.
God.
You should see where they're blacking out stuff. Oh, we don't want white people to feel guilty. What? Do I feel guilty about the past? I don't feel any guilt about white men beating up black people and all that. It wasn't me. Telescopic lens on it. Well, that's interesting.
Interesting.
Oh my God!
Mr. Kelsey
It does. I agree with Mr. Kelsey one completely. Last
there we
Dance,
go.
I'm sure is 100%.
That's the right wing failsafe. Better check out the pizza place too, buddy.
For the record, I don't believe that.
It's
because you're a liberalist there last time.
Here's what's funny.
You would be talking about Comet.
Apparently
pizza.
he is.
No, here's the funny thing.
McGrandy, you would be talking about.
They're all go to pedophile.
Yeah,
they all go to these extreme
remember
places
the Steele
because
dossier.
they're all deflecting.
Remember the Steele dossier. Remember the Steele dossier.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you fucking believe that or not, didn't you?
I do today because it was.
Well, that's been totally debunked now.
No, it hasn't because it was
fucking
cool.
has.
No, it's all
This
based
is it.
upon.
That's
no,
the problem with you.
No, it's not. You don't
That's not a
listen. That's your
secondary
problem.
question. Hold
That's
on
your
a second.
problem. You don't listen. You don't let me defend myself.
So earlier you were talking about Comet Pizza, McGrandy, when you said that comment.
Oh yeah, because the right wing Onanon, we're talking about pizza places with
QAnon.
pedophilia. QAnon, thank you. With the pedophilias and that one guy who went into a pizza place with a gun. Because that's what it is. It's all nonsense. It's all like John F. Kennedy Jr. is coming back. It's all that kind of crazy shit.
Yeah.
And
But
these people buy into that nonsense.
McGrandy, there's definitely not a VIP child abusing racket going around America, is there?
Now,
There is.
let's go ahead over
Oh,
to
there
you,
is
Base
there?
Welshman.
There is.
Yeah.
Base
there?
Welshman, do you
Yeah.
believe that Comet Pizza thing was real?
I tell you what I believe, Steve.
Do you
I
believe
bel-
that Comet Pizza thing
Well,
had any reality?
Well, I didn't really go into that too much, and I'm not really. Like,
I'm sure you never even heard of it, did you?
I never believed the QAnon. You'll see no social media posts from me retweeting any of that shit. I never done any of that shit. But let me just get it settled down here. So we had Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, they've had their little thing where
I think we say Jillian.
Yeah, you say yeah. Well, either way, right? But what's funny about that is they've been arrested and they've been convicted and killed or whatever. But what about the perps? What about the
like your
the
Prince.
lawyers? What about
Like
the
your
VIPs? What about
Prince Andrew?
What about
Like
Prince?
Donald
What
Trump?
about Bill Clinton?
What about Donald Trump and the rest of the elites?
Well, we know this. There were more than just Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Donald Trump's never been on the island. He's been on his plane, not the island. That pushes that one to one side. But Bill Clinton was on that plane 27 times.
Was he on the island?
He was on the plane 27 times, and he only went to like Nigeria and stuff.
Trump was on the plane, but never on the island.
Once. He was on the plane once.
Where does the plane go? The island.
Well,
it goes to the island.
I would suggest Bill Clinton's 27 times. There was a few going to the island. I'd suggest.
You suggest, but you don't know.
I'm going to give you a break.
Did Trump push Ghislaine Maxwell?
No, it's sorry. It's on the flight logs. It's on the flight logs. It's on the flight logs.
That's illogical and it's irrelevant.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but no one's been arrested. McGrandy, no one's been arrested for it. No one's. It stinks. It all stinks. No one's been. No perps have been done. No one. So they've been done for trafficking girls, or she's been done for trafficking girls.
Yeah.
But then no one's been even arrested or questioned. Who were the perps?
Well,
they're all VIPs.
I stay mute. I have no way to defend these kind of perverts, and I'm not going to.
Yes. So
how does that have to do? What does that have to do with what I'm talking about?
Well, but when you said Comet Pizza, well, you slyly said Comet Pizza.
Because right? It's part of that.
Yes, and then I mentioned the Steele dossier.
I said Comet Pizza first.
Okay,
you guys are making me hungry for pizza.
You know what I mean? He initiated the subject.
But
the funny thing is, some people like himself still believes in the Steele dossier. We know it's completely. If you've been kept up in the last year, it's completely debunked, and there's nothing.
Can I explain something? Can you give me 30 seconds?
Not 1 second more.
Last chance.
Either one of you get 2 more seconds.
Yeah, I do.
30 seconds. Steve, can I have 30 seconds?
Alive?
I actually record their screams as I eat them. That's
Okay.
That's how cruel I am.
What an asshole!
Yeah, I am. I'm not a nice guy.
Anybody want to talk about Ye West?
Oh, what an idiot!
Not really. I don't.
He's one of the greatest morons in the history of morons ever.
It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about that school shooting this week in St. Louis?
Yeah.
McGrandy did.
Yeah.
Oh, the one you were very near, Aphid.
I was right down the street.
You was in that hospital.
I was.
Dude, I did a live week thing on the Parkland. I was probably 12 miles away from where that happened. And
maybe I
was commenting on the emergency vehicles because I'd go outside to smoke, and I was on a major where I used to work was like a major highway, and I'm seeing ambulances that aren't city. They're not paramedics. They're private ambulances.
McGrandy, are you one-upping Aphid right now on his story?
No, I'm sharing. what he must have felt.
That's all right.
Because
It was similar because when
I'm
you said
watching
that,
this and I'm seeing irregular shit going on. I'm seeing convoys, fucking cops going crazy, fucking flying all over the roadway.
Yeah, it was.
High speed shit all over the place. And you know it's a
Right.
panic response, you know?
I
It was
had like
like
a
that.
similar experience.
What was yours?
Several years ago, but not too many, maybe 5 or 6. Well, might have been 10 by now.
Wait,
There
last dance.
was-
Are you trying to upshow? Are you trying to like?
I really am. I can't stand that I'm not the center of attention.
I'm just kidding. Dude. Go
There
on.
was a mass shooting in Annapolis at a
Jesus.
newspaper called the Capital
I remember that.
Gazette, and
Oh,
I was right basically in the area. Annapolis is a pretty small area, and I was maybe
shit.
less than a mile away. And I mean, I didn't hear any gunshots, but just at one point we just heard sirens constantly. And then the key, when you know it's a real problem, is you start seeing helicopters hovering
Yeah.
over the scene. That's how you know something bad has gone
Yeah.
down.
Did you
Can I
grab
tell
for
you-
your
can I tell you something about
government-issued
that?
9mm?
What was that?
Did you grab for your government issued 9mm?
I don't have anything in my life that's 9 millimeters long.
Hey.
I have a similar story that happened.
Wait, I got
that
to
happened
comment
today.
I got
I'm
to
sure
know
there's
my
some-
Last Dance experience.
If we searched your house,
Because-
I'm sure we could find something.
Last Dance, in that event, the brother of Carl Hyacin was killed. And
Really?
Carl Hyacin is, you know.
Oh, I know who he is.
He's, you know,
Great author.
Stormy Weather.
Yeah.
He was a great author. He was a columnist for the Miami Herald.
I know he's a columnist.
And the funny thing is his dad was a lawyer, and he handled the closing on my parents' first house.
Small world.
Yeah, but his brother was murdered in that event. That
I
you're
did not
talking
know
about.
that. Yeah, I think there
So
were 5.
anyway, I apologize, Biscuit. I wanted to put that in there because that was a profound memory for me.
I was just saying I have a similar story of something that happened today.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Nobody died. But there was threats.
Yeah, you don't have stories like that in the UK.
No. There
Yeah,
was
water, good
2 guys, 2 girls screaming and fighting each other and slapping each other about and just rolling around. This must have been about maybe 6 hours ago. Just on the street, just rolling around on the floor, scrapping each other.
Jesus.
It's like watching Hollyoaks just outside my street.
Where are they coming from?
Top at street, there's some reprobates up top at street that moved in about a year ago.
Do they have to, like, wonder how drunk the people are getting when they're buying drinks there? Or
I don't think they were drunk. I think they was probably high on cocaine or something.
damn. Any cute ladies?
I never actually saw them. I was just listening with door wide open.
All right. Well, next time, grab a few of the girls and bring them here on the pub. You know, hey. And here we go. Matt Grandy is back. All right, what do you guys think here? We're getting up on 10 o'clock.
Dude, I think you're ready to shoot it because you're like faded.
I'm in great shape, but you're the boss.
My
It's your
earphones
show.
are
It's
starting
your
to
show.
hurt
You
my
don't need
left
to
ear.
ask us.
Exactly.
Well, no, you guys are mods. You guys can keep the show going. I
can't
go.
shut it. We can't shut the show down though. I don't
Well, I'm
think.
not going to go anywhere, but go grab a drink and take a leak. You know, have a little water.
Well, go grab a drink. I got another killing story to tell you about that happened
Oh,
once. in
I'm
my life.
game for another
See,
mass
this
murder
is what I'm
story.
saying. It's not that I want to find the end. I want to find that I have a few people who are still willing to watch over things.
I'm willing.
You guys
We're
are
here
down?
for you, Steve.
We're down.
All right. I
He
will
ain't
go
coming
back.
back.
Piss away. Guess what?
Coming
I have advice.
I'm coming
Steve,
back.
Wait, I know, but sit when you take a piss. Don't try and aim.
Well, it's not mostly for that. It's to get a little mixer going. I want to have a little cocktail here.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, because
I want to have
you
something
need like
nice.
2 or 3 more. I think.
Well, I've just had a nice brew in my
Well-
trigger warning cup.
I
Oh, you got
wanna-
who sent you that? Did
George.
Cypress send you that?
Yeah.
Old George Begonia.
Nice.
Georgie. Oh, I don't want to miss this.
Oh, did you miss it? I'll just show you my trigger warning.
Oh, you wanna miss my mass murder story, but you don't want to miss a trigger warning coffee
No,
cup?
well, I mean, George, he's an old buddy. He was on here. He was with us. We spent a lot of Saturdays together, man, with that guy. And
Yep.
we all know, like we had talked about him a few weeks ago. We'll just say we have heard from George, and he's doing great, and he looks great,
That's
and
great.
he's fabulous, and
Yep.
he's living his own life, and he's kicked us losers to the side, which is totally fine.
Totally
because-
fine, exactly.
because he's doing well, and I want him to continue doing well. And,
Good for him.
When he's ready, he'll come back, and if he doesn't ever, I still wish him a great life.
Yeah, I get the
Same here.
impression that maybe he's better off without us.
I
Which
can't believe that.
I totally understand.
I'm guessing his blood pressure's a lot lower now.
The dude's doing real well. So
He was a fan of Top, I think.
Where is Top tonight? I don't think he comes
Top
on.
has a
with
busy
me.
life. He's got lots
He's got a lot
kids
going
and
on.
work.
That's true.
The man has a full plate. All right, fellas. So keep.
We'll see you next week, Smokesteve. It was good seeing you.
Oh, I'm coming back. Talking 5 to 7 minutes.
Hope you have a good life. Say hello to
Five-
Cypher for us.
5 to 7 minutes. I'm starting the stopwatch, Smokesteve.
I might have a pina colada in my hand. Maybe a margarita.
Pina colada.
I got the tequila. All right, here we go. I'm getting it done. Be back shortly.
I hope you have enough pina colada to share with the whole class. Yes, ma'am. I brought lots of pina colada for the class.
What'd you say?
So I rode my bike down to Hollywood. Hollywood is south of Fort Lauderdale, and it's got this boardwalk. And it's really bizarre because Hollywood is like stuck in another decade.
Now, can I interrupt you? Our Brits might not realize that there's a Hollywood, a city of Hollywood, also in Florida, but
Yes,
it's
in
nowhere near
Florida.
the importance
It's true.
of
the LA.
the LA
it's
one,
almost-
which is really
Right,
just
it's-
a neighborhood.
It's called
nowadays.
Hollywood, Florida. It's a little
Yeah.
different than like Fort Lauderdale. They have alleys in the back of their houses, and it's a weird
Hey, take
place.
care, Carol. Great having you in the chat.
Night,
So-
Carol.
They have this boardwalk. They call it a broad walk or a boardwalk. It's a concrete.
Yep.
It goes for about 8 miles, and
Wow.
you got dudes on bikes, and a lot of them are older dudes. And last chance I was thinking about this today. I say old dudes, and they're probably my age, which is a little scary. But so I'm riding my bike, running silent like I always do. And these guys actually have like boom boxes on their handlebars, and they're playing music while they ride their bikes. And the bikes that they're riding are really not something you can go too far with, but it's a weird experience. So that was my experience today. It was like time travel. I got to go back and they never wear shirts too, and their physique is somewhat revolting, and they all have some bizarre facial hair, like white handlebar.
Yeah, they've probably been biking for like 50 years at this point.
Yeah, and it's almost like I've been doing that for like 30 years, and it's almost like it's the same guys.
Do they still have biker bitches?
Some of them bring their wives. Yeah,
75-year-old biker bitches.
yeah, some of them are out there. You got to watch out because there's a designated area for bicycles, but you have a lot of these. It's a tourist area. You have a lot. It's tourists, and it's amazing how when people walk out into a thoroughfare, they don't look right or left. So it's absolutely amazing. It's a great ability to observe people.
I have mixed feelings about these bikers. You know, they're
Bicycles.
no motorcycles. I'm sorry,
Oh, okay. I'm talking
motorcycles. Is that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
No,
bicycles. I'm
bicycles.
talking.
Oh, you're talking about actual bicycles.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Like I said, it's time travel.
I mean, I wouldn't expect someone with a, you know, as you describe it, grotesque physique to be on a bicycle. They're just too much work.
Well, They do it every day, but they don't do enough. I guess.
Evidently, yeah.
Not to mention all the electric bicycles we've got now.
Oh, I'm seeing that everywhere too. I actually ran into a guy and I said, when you pedal, does it charge the battery? He goes, no, it's good for about 40 miles. It's the one with the big.
I thought they did charge the battery. It doesn't charge it.
Some do.
Like
some
one of
do.
them behind me, my grandy.
It's
Oh, wrong
these
way.
have big knobby tires
Yeah,
on them.
that's what that's got.
I can't see the tires.
Hold on, let me turn it like
Well, that's because
Oh, I see it. Yes, like that.
Yeah.
And the battery's below your seat there.
That's
The
right,
battery's
yeah.
in-
That's right.
All right. So that's about a 40-mile range.
No, not with me on it. It does 15.
Okay.
40 miles. Are you serious? That's spectacular. I would have guessed
If
5
I
miles.
if I pedaled, then I might get 40.
Okay, but I see that's maybe that guy misunderstood me because I asked him, I said, does your pedaling charge the battery? And he said no. But you
No.
could in your own mind compensate for your battery use.
If you're
If
putting
you-
some
and-
energy in, it'll
Okay.
use less battery.
Okay, so there you go. That's
Yeah.
the true answer.
Yes.
The true answer is it does because
Yes.
you're not charging it, but you can compensate for
Yeah.
the battery loss.
So they don't. There's no regenerative braking or any of those other things.
There is on some bikes,
Okay, it
Yeah.
depends what you get.
but
The more you
this-
pay, probably the more
this
gizmos it is.
this motor on my bike's got gears, so and it freewheels, so it unlike the direct drive ones, it can't regenerate. If you've got a direct drive motor, you pull the brake just a little bit, and then it starts regenerating the battery, but you get very little back.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting. But I can see the benefit of it because I see a bunch of people out there cruising, man.
I
They're
mean,
like doing 25.
regenerative braking's more for keeping your brake pads from wearing out too fast, because it slows you down rather quickly.
When I had my Prius, the regenerative braking would charge the battery somewhat, and also if you were going downhill, at a certain regime, it would charge the battery and slow the car down a little bit. So it was.
But
Yeah,
but
The
it's still
hybrids, like the Prius were designed for stop and go traffic. They say that they were better off in stop and go traffic than like on highway.
well. Thing is, the
I never
electric
noticed
motor
that with mine.
could get you up to speed, and then the motor was using less fuel because it was just keeping up with that speed. Then
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Biscuit. That's interesting.
no worries.
Hell was that?
Steve, did you fall over?
Smokesteve is wasted.
That's the way we like them.
I heard that. I heard that.
Woo-hoo.
Totally sober.
That guy is wasted.
Wasted, man.
I know. Look at
I gotta
this
tell you- I gotta
this
tell you,
pina colada looks pathetic.
It looks like milk from here.
Shit. Dude,
I probably worked in the past 7 hours or 7 days. I probably worked 100+ hours,
Oh,
and
man,
I'm struggling. So I don't see myself going.
I'd say I'm sorry to hear that, but it probably means you've been getting a lot of business. So
I mean, that's the benefit of it, yeah. But
Right.
it doesn't make a difference when it's happening because it's just like.
well,
it's just
I did notice
overwhelming.
you commented at 4:30 in the morning today.
Yeah, because I got to get up at like 3:00 to get
Yeah.
going in the day.
Awesome.
So
Guess what?
and then I work till I go to bed, and I go to bed. I wake up and I at 3:00 in the morning, and I go to work. I mean, it's
But
just
that would
do you have a good dinner?
tonight. I
Any
haven't had a
night.
dinner tonight.
What?
How am I supposed to have a good dinner? I'm working till it's time to go to
Dude,
bed. So no, I
because-
didn't have a good dinner at all.
What, you
And-
got-
Maybe
Maybe
he came out here and started drinking.
Sorry, Coach.
Yeah, I know.
Make sure you do that before you go to bed.
I haven't had a drink in like 7 days. Probably since the last pub.
Wow,
You're
that's
not drinking right now?
Yeah, right now I am, but I'm just saying I've been waking up, going to work, and then going to bed, and waking up and going to work and going to bed. I had enough time to take my mom to like a park last Sunday, and that was besides that, like that's been the only downtime I had.
And
the
I
past
saw
week.
it. I saw it on Facebook because we're Facebook buddies, and that was beautiful.
Oh, Smokesteve, thanks.
Your mom is a sweetie pie. She's wonderful.
My mom's my mom's like had a bunch of diversities hit her, physically,
Yeah,
and she tackles them, and she's just like, if I put mind over matter, I'm gonna get through this, and she does every single time. So
amazing.
Awesome.
she's an admirable person in my life for sure.
Absolutely.
My mother,
Amazing. Yeah, man.
she's
You're a lucky
You
man.
are
she had
also
a
an
she had a
admirable person.
oh Jesus
Oh,
Christ,
look
man.
at you!
Don't say that.
Yeah, I mean, you're a hard worker. It was the last goddamn hard worker in the country at this point.
I don't wanna,
Yeah.
it makes me very comfortable to hear that. But back to my mom. She
Oh.
man, she had a what's past quadruple quintuple. She had a quintuple bypass
Jeez.
a few years ago, and right before she had it, we were at they have these things. Maybe you guys got them in your cities. They're called Great Wolf Lodge. You ever heard of those? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. We don't go there.
Never heard of it.
yeah. I understand. I totally understand. But this is
Huge.
like my
Huge money, right?
right.
What is
Well,
it?
we only stay there one night. It's like a hotel, right? That's
Huge
got like
water
this
park.
log cabin theme to it, and it's got a water park that's indoors that you can go to in the middle of winter and go like you feel like you're
Wow,
at
that sounds pretty elaborate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. But dude, the
So-
overhead costs for them must be astronomical because
you would think.
are staying there.
If you go there for one night and you got a bunch of people and you stay in one room, my mom always pays for it because it's like her thing. She takes us every other year since my dad passed away. But anyway, she did this like this thing. It's like this water park for kids, and she was in her 70s, and she climbed this like rope, netting to get to the top to slide down this water slide that is built for little kids. And my mom is like, she don't care, she'll just do it,
Awesome.
and she did that. And then it was that next spring, she called me and she was like, I think I should, she never wants to like tell me like when she's sick or something because she don't want to worry me. And she was like, she was in the ER, and she's like, they told me I should probably call you. I wasn't gonna call you. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm like,
Oh,
Mom.
shit.
And she had 80% blockage in her arteries, and she's not like a smoker or nothing, And
I had
she's
more
like,
than that.
did you really 80% in all your arteries and stuff?
Not all of them, just my right coronary artery.
No,
The
this was like
doctor told me it was 99% blocked.
Oh my god!
He said I was lucky to be alive.
Wow.
So
but
I don't necessarily believe in
your arteries have a funny thing. Well, they'll make new little pathways.
I didn't have any of that
Well,
because I was too young.
Yeah. And my mom didn't have any of it either because she had 20% blood flow, and she had quintuple, and she was, that when they do that shit to you, I don't know if you guys have, surely you have.
They crack your chest
Oh my
open.
god, it's like
Oh, yeah.
horrible,
All
dude.
your ribs, man. They open up your ribs and everything.
Yeah.
And she wasn't gonna let that down. Like it was like she almost died on the operating
Dude,
table.
that's think about your core, right? They're ripping
Yeah.
your core apart. And it's so painful. She's a trooper.
Totally.
It was 3 days later, and she's like, I want out of here.
Wow.
We brought her home, and she was like, maybe I, overshot it or whatever.
Yeah, because the
she was like
morphine.
ambitious.
She was no longer on the morphine drip. That's why.
Right. But they came over to check up on her, right? And she's like, this is only like, she's probably 73 when this happened. And she lives by herself. My dad's long gone and everything. And she was like dressed in normal clothes. And they came over they're like, where's my mom answered the door, when they came to check the first checkup on her. And they're like, where's the patient? She's like, what do you mean? I am the patient. She's like, why? You need to be in bed. What are you doing?
Yeah. Hey, Aphid,
but-
I
Good
have
for
a
her.
question for you. Does your mom
awesome.
always get up and make her bed?
Oh, I'm sure she does. Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
seen it unmade, so
Yeah,
I'm sure
exactly.
she does.
That's what we're dealing with here.
She's great, man. My mom is. She's a trooper. She
You're a
had
lucky guy.
rheumatoid arthritis when she was in her
Uh-huh.
20s. They told her
good.
like she wouldn't make it past like 40 without being bedridden. She's like, you don't know me.
Yeah.
Here she is. She's still like, her toes are crossed and shit.
Yeah.
But it don't
Outstanding.
keep her. It don't keep her down. She's great.
That's
I
a
love
secret,
her.
buddy. I can see the same in you.
I'm gonna keep on going as long as my
No,
body will take
no,
it. I ain't
no,
gonna
I meant
stop.
I've seen your toenails.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
So that's what he
Yeah.
means by that.
Yeah. Hell
No,
yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
actually meant the first thing, but anyway.
Right. No, man. You're right on. My toes are sand, man. I still wear like open-toed shoes, in the summer and everything.
Oh
And I was
God.
like, oh, when I trim them down, I don't think like to me they don't. I'm like they pass. But my son was like, no, Dad, they are actually kind of embarrassing out in public.
You got to get one of those little rotary sanders. You put a sandy block on the tip, close it up, and you turn that baby on. It's a rotary. Instead, you can't use clippers because that shit's too thick. You got to grind
Why
that
do
shit
why
off.
do they call them rotary? They don't actually spin, do they? They oscillate.
Well, that's you know what I'm not at NASA, but you might be right. I'm sure there's some oscillation involved in there. But I'm a bicycle guy, so I like consistency. Oscillation on a bicycle would be a bitch. You know that, Biscuit. You'd be
You'd
all
be
over
like
the
this.
place. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I care about my my care for my personal appearance faded years ago.
Me too.
So
Me too.
if my toes look like hideous, so be it. That's
I just got a
what you're gonna have
haircut
to deal with.
after 4 months. I got a haircut. So, and it was fun because I could, the chunks of hair were landing on the, the thing they have over you. I forget what they call that. And chunks of hair were landing. And
Your neighbours are giving your wife some tips here, Steve.
No, I actually I reached around and I picked it up and looked at it, and I could see how much gray hair was in my hair, which was pretty cool because you can't really even tell now, but if you cut it, it's there. Anyway,
Smokesteve, how's that pina colada treating you? That's what I think
Yeah, man.
everybody's wondering.
Not bad.
dude, that's huge.
This thing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's mediocre.
It's not as big as the jug.
Live beer too. I mean, it's
Wow.
only. I mean, it tastes nice.
You know what? I've been trying to cut back on drinking, so I've been doing. I buy a bag of lemons, and I found an old juicer that I have, and I've been making lemonade, especially like it's been hot, so I've been dehydrated. So
Bag of lemons.
It's a good source.
Seems
man.
like that's start of a joke there, but
No, it's not. It actually, I'm a lemonade freak. Put a little sugar. I got a whole routine going.
hey, so we got a new topic that the Peanut Gallery has suggested.
Oh yeah, what's going
Okay,
on
what's
here?
that?
Managing money in
Readers on.
relationships. Now, I'll start out. My girlfriend is in her with her ex-husband. She absolutely had no input nor interest in any of the finances, and I mean nothing at all. And that's how she liked it. And when she wanted to get a car, she mentioned to her husband, and he picked the car, and he got it for her. Now, then she got divorced, and lo and behold, she had no skills. And so all that ignorance, which seemed like a good thing, suddenly you have to, you're starting from scratch. It's like you're just entering the world again. And so I think we've all seen varieties of relationships. I had two good friends, one of whom passed away. When they got married, they both still kept their separate accounts, and they would talk about, why don't you pay the restaurant bill with your money? Well,
Oh
why don't
my
you pay with
gosh,
your money?
really?
And they're married,
Wow.
And it was just funny to hear that. So there are extremes all
I
over
like
the
the
place.
old trick when the husband asks the wife if they want to pay. Sure, I saved your card on my phone.
I don't have any interest in the money dealings. My
you
wife
let-
handles all that stuff.
Wow.
I don't pay attention to it at all. I mean, that's why I married her.
Wow.
I do, like, I cook more probably, and I work more, and she handles the bookkeeping, and it's just give and take. She does stuff and I do stuff, and
Good for you, buddy.
she can spend whatever she wants, with our money, how she wants to spend it. I get cash sometimes, and I don't like give her part of it or whatever. If she wants some of it, she can have whatever she wants, but she can do, that's just her side of her bargain. I
Yeah.
don't worry about like any of that shit.
So you guys, you really have that kind of a partnership where each one, though that's a significant responsibility, and she takes it.
Yeah, she takes it because I don't want to deal with that shit, man. Like
No, I know.
she like when I had to take the money years into our marriage. I had to take money out of our bank
Cup of
account,
tea.
and she told me that you have to write a check to yourself, and I'm like, what? I gotta go to the bank and write a check to myself? That made no sense to me whatsoever.
Smokesteve, I'm sure
that's
Mrs.
refreshing.
Smokesteve
That's
does not
refreshing.
buy too many leggings.
No, it's funny.
Too many leggings.
Well, I'm older, and in my cohort, I find that most of the time, but not all the time, when there is a bias in who takes care of the money, it's the husband, who often has the higher paying job, who kind of controls the purse strings, and the wives feel they have to ask for money, especially anything significant.
Oh my God.
That's one of the perks of being single. All the money I've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
is mine, and I can do what I want with it.
I'm sure
Do you
that's
think
less
I'd-
common amongst
do you-
people
do you-
younger
Do you
generations.
think I'd
than
be able to buy a 3D printer if I had a girlfriend? Do you think I'd be able to buy a new microphone or a new monitor and a new
No,
desk, which is coming next week? Hell no.
You're definitely showing us the way in terms of getting what you like. When you
Oh,
want it.
speaking of buying stuff, and I got that Atari last weekend, last answer. And I think you said at one point you thought it was probably worth like maybe even $500. I can't remember what you thought it was
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah.
And when I first got it, I did think it was going to be more worth what it was. But after a week on Facebook Marketplace, some guys coming to get it for $90 tomorrow.
Oh, man,
I was so
I wouldn't get rid of
disappointed.
it for $90. I'd keep it.
I only paid $25 for it, so
But it's a classic part of its history.
I know, but I have no emotional attachment to
Well,
it. So why would I keep it? I have other
Hey,
stuff that I.
Here's why, Aphid. Because one day, on the road show from PBS is going to show up in St. Louis, and you're going to be able to get an estimate of $500 for that puppy.
Yeah, but
an
an estimate ain't cold hard cash, is it?
That's right.
That's right. That's $500 in the future. Right now,
Yeah,
$90 is
That's
I
right.
got-
cash in hand.
Times are hard these days. You need all that
Yeah.
cold hard cash.
That's right.
I spent $55 at that estate sale, and I got to keep two things, and I'll make $35 profit or whatever on it. And I'm totally fine with that.
eBay, what do you have it on? Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Oh, so people will. You don't have to mail it. Someone will come pick it up.
Look at
Yeah,
Steve.
exactly.
Look at
Exactly.
Steve.
He's fading, dude. I told you
Steve.
that like an hour ago.
Steve, I'm going to do you a favor. You have a good fucking night, buddy. I want you to enjoy the rest of your weekend.
He's got to stay on to kill the show
I know. I'm going. I'll
You're
see
going.
you guys later.
because
Good night,
he's
my
fading.
grandy.
Well, it's good talking to you, McGrath. Take care.
Guys, be good.
You
All
too.
right, see you, McGrande. Smokesteve, are you even still listening?
Yeah.
What are you talking?
You-
You are insulting Mr. Ross. I
took
take
the week
offense
off.
on his behalf.
Smokesteve, what do you got going on this weekend? You got your buddy coming over tomorrow?
Damn right.
Hell yeah. You guys gonna party it up.
Yeah. And you know how it is during the week. I can't sleep in, but I can on the weekends. Unfortunately, I feel like you can't, David. That sucks, man. So,
No, man, I can't. I would tell myself I really want to sleep in tomorrow. But no, there's so much like things going in my head, like a lot of stress, and I know it's bad for my. I think I have really high blood pressure. I'm starting to worry about.
I tell you, just listening to you makes me stressful because I know I could never
fair.
handle it. I would be, in a psych hospital.
Oh, well, I got people, counting on me for different things, and it's the pressure of it is overwhelming at times.
Well, take care of
Like
your.
I had an email I went to check because I had this gigantic we got several gigantic projects going on right now, but this one was really overwhelming. This one I had to deliver and get done today, and I saw in an email that this guy like wanted something, and I told him that I was gonna have it, and then I was like, "Shit, man, should I go back to and make that for him?" And it's like that pressure, people counting on me for
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's just, and people got my cell phone, and they're like calling me, and I'm like ghosting them and not answering their calls. It's
No,
tough, man. Balancing you got to make so much money to survive. By the way, I think we are going to switch over to Obamacare because our health insurance is going over $2,000 a month, and I think it's
What?
unsustainable.
Oh,
That's wicked high.
Over 2,000 a month, man.
Damn.
It's unsustainable. So we're gonna have to.
What's the
My
difference?
son's
What's the difference between Obamacare and insurance? Is it longer wait times or?
the difference is the money you have to pay. Like what do they call that? The help me out, guys.
Principal.
Well,
the
the
copay.
the amount you pay before they kick in and pay for everything. The deductible
Yeah.
Okay,
is
the
what I'm trying to call
deductible.
it.
That's
Okay,
the
the
other one.
deductible, like right now, because I've had this policy since I was young by myself, and I was self-employed, but like self-employed was looked at differently back then.
Mhm.
And it's grown into this like just monster thing. The first thing it was when my wife was gonna have a kid. They jack you up then, and then when you have the kid, they jack you up a bunch more, and now you don't have these personal policies anymore. They don't exist. It's hard to get them, and my deductible is like $1,000. So it's like no big deal. But if I go to Obamacare, it's gonna be $3,000. So if me, my wife, and my kid get in a car accident, we're gonna have $9,000, to come up
Jesus,
with.
I'm glad I ain't got to worry about that here.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's never happened in my lifetime, and I don't even go to the doctor. I don't use any. Like I've had this policy for my whole life, and I haven't been since my pediatrician. I haven't even been to the doctor.
That's another great thing about here. Even if I get a bellyache, it's like, yep, I'm gonna spend the tax dollars' money to get myself checked.
Yeah. But 2,000. I mean, come on, $2,000. Seriously, who's got that kind of money? I don't have that kind of money. I don't have.
So
I
if
don't have.
if
I don't
if
have $2,000 to pay
so
for
if the
on
procedure's
top of
less
my house and everything else. Come on,
That's
so if
just
the
a form.
procedures if the
I have to make
procedure's
like
less
you wouldn't believe like how many because of owning my business. Like I got to pay my rent for my business, my house. Like the amount of money I have to make, like that's on my shoulders,
so if
and
the
I do it all
procedure
I don't like to hire people, so I want to do it all myself.
if the
And that's the
procedure's
problem.
less than your deductible, do you have to pay the whole thing then?
Well, the thing is with doctors and hospitals, they're so used to people not paying their bills that if you're willing to, give them, $50 a month if you have some serious debt with them, they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, of course, that sounds great." So we're just gonna go on that theory and hope for the best and go to the Obamacare and because we're not gonna get in a car accident and all three of us have to have the worst things done to us.
Man, oh man, I'm gonna have
Isn't
to.
is there not an
I'm gonna
insurance that
take
you
some
can
pills
get?
when I get off this show because
Is there not an insurance with
maybe I'll have
no?
more alcohol now.
Is there not an insurance with no deductible?
Yeah, there's some that's very expensive.
Well, I don't think that. I don't know. I don't think with no deductible. I don't think that exists.
I'm not aware, but it.
No, even like your
Or
best job that has the best thing. I mean, you're still looking at like $1,000. I think is probably as low as
wow,
it goes these days.
No, my deductible's not nearly that high.
It's not $1,000.
No,
That government,
it's not.
it's good.
No.
And you probably don't pay. You probably don't pay. Even if you took a third of what I pay, you don't. There's no way you pay what $700 a month. Not even close
No,
to it.
no, not even
And
close.
you're at your age. It's not.
It's not
fair,
based on age. That doesn't. They don't. Everybody pays the same. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Smokesteve out? Is he out?
He's out.
No, he's not. He's not out. He's hanging in there. He's totally like into every word that's coming out of our
Yep,
mouths.
he is.
I'm still
He'll
here.
recite it verbatim when he comes back on.
You're gonna, Smoke Steve, I'm gonna call you and you're gonna get a pop quiz in the morning about the last hour of the show.
Still
Smoke
here,
Steve, how about we just say
everybody.
good night? Smoke Steve, how about we just all
Yeah, I
say
think-
goodbye to everybody?
I think we're causing him stress. He's just being nice by hanging around.
Well, you guys have done a
My
wonderful
world
job.
with the stress.
Jeez. Oh man, I'm gonna.
Well,
I
I'm
might go visit you so I could take some of that stress off your job.
Man, my son was on his fall break this week, and thank God he was because he worked with me.
I saw that.
And
Yeah.
he made up.
I'm going to bow out now
helped
and
out.
say good night, everybody.
Well, it's great.
All right,
Great
good
talking
night,
to you,
guys.
Biscuit.
Yeah.
Take
All
care.
right, we'll see you, Biscuit.
See you next week.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll
See you next week.